Man, it started off a little exciting. We started off with TSM chip earnings, Nvidia was going up, Intel hit a new 52-week high. Woo! Sounded so excited, and then honestly, it was looking like it was a day where we weren't going to get the Russell leading, and staples were going to kind of chill out and bring some money into tech, and then literally like 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes later, you just went back and forth, and then it kind of chilled out. And then sure enough, the Russell was able to take over again. And now we're waiting here for a little bit of action, but you don't have much on the calendar. You got through most of the data, and now we're going to play this game back and forth probably until we get something. You might get one at Caroline Levitt. We'll see what she has to say, but I doubt it. And then you got an update on a Trump healthcare plan. We caught that one early. If you played it, you could have got some moves there. CNC, UNH. Announcing that whole Medicare plan where they pay for it. You even actually got some Netflix news not too long ago about Sony. It didn't move much, a little bit of the buyout stuff there. But other than that, it was a pretty dry day. I'm actually kind of surprised considering it looks like a solid one on the board. 0.8 on the NASDAQ, 1.2 on the Russell, 0.8 on the Dow, 0.6 on the SPY. Equal weight's good. It's just a broadened out day, but a lot of it came from the morning. And like what? We're almost 4 hours in so far, 30 minutes shy, 3.5 hours, and you didn't really move much intraday. So it is a long weekend. Remember, Monday's closed. Today's Friday, Junior, so maybe that could be accounting for it. But other than that, baby, you know what we got to do. It's Philo time, so we'll still be here if anything happens, but we could philosophize for a little bit. I think it's a perfect environment for some Philo. You know what I'm saying? I hope you feel me, man. So that being said, we will begin here in a little bit, a couple of minutes. I'll get you some tracks. And, we'll do our thing, bro. We'll do our thing. Alrighty. Philo boy, son. Jesus. Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a call, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared. Big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah. It's done. Daddy said it's finished. Made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours. It's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the arc. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god, then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib, but for a second, keep it real. It's not the reason they will kill, it's the freedom in believing. They want death to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say it proud. Here, let's say it now. Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear, oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Amen. It's a call, baby. Feels like it's gonna be a good day. Satan, hold on by a crib, that's that, that's ours. Why wait, be great, that's that. No way, we changed, what's the plan, that's that. On my way, that's the play, new game, that's that. Can't believe they missed it on my kindness. I can't believe they forsake all the guidance. I can't believe they couldn't see the timing. Father, think we should remind us. I'm free, no strings, no chains, that's that. One God, one king, one way, that's that. Sovereign, supreme, what you know about that? One thing before you leave, please don't come back. Never needed, then you needed Jesus. I'd rather have no friends and hang with demons. Your brother gonna show up when he needed, but can the two still walk with that agreement? Satan, hold on by your crib, that's that.
That's ours. Be great, that's that.
No way, we change, what's the plan? That's that, out my way, that's the play.
Honestly, I just wanted to get hyped, bro.
Gamble, that's a game for the gods.
I just get really hyped.
What's the matter? Thought you knew
about the loss. Chatadonia. Chatadonia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Philo. Okay, we gonna be here. I don't know what's gonna. We got Walmart. We got a couple things moving around, but Walmart actually a little big at Philo time. What do we got, Walmart? Come on, give us something, man. Give us something. But yeah, today's been chill, bro. It's good. Very chill start to the beginning of the year. I hope y'all been paying attention to the major themes. And honestly, I hope you've been paying attention to the Philo, man. I've been very excited for some of y'all. And I don't know, I really do hope that you continue to look forward, you get comfortable with going forward, and I do hope, though, you don't forget all the things you learned. Don't forget what last year and all the other years taught you, and if you are new, I mean, shit, you get a different opportunity as well, and at the same time, man, there's a lot more to learn and a lot longer to go. It's a big, big mission. It's a big, big marathon, a journey. Oh, you know that, right? I said, time, baby, time, the compass. Oh, don't get me started. So, Chad, I got a good one for you today. I got a couple of things to talk about. But before we do that, I guess I'll start with I'll start with the easy one, man. Because I'm going to ask you something today. I want to ask you about your mind, but before I tell you about your mind and ask you a question about what is in your mind, I want to ask you, I want you to just remember and know do you understand how valuable that is? And that's what a memory does. You have the ability to remember and know. And a lot of y'all starting new journeys. A lot of y'all in the same spot. Some of you think that's a bad thing. Some of y'all getting flustered. Some of y'all getting excited. You're entering new stages you've never done before. It's amazing. But let me remind you this. Your secret place. You guys remember that, right? I did talk about it not too long ago, but do you understand? I hope you have a place of solitude. I hope that in good times you have a place to go to. I hope in bad times you have a place to go to. And dog, I am not talking about the internet. I'm not talking about here. Oh, I'm talking about being comfortable with you. And don't underestimate how far that's going to take you. You know that? No matter what the situation or life throws at you. Because I don't know. One of my favorite people, Jesus Christ. We're going to talk about him today. But, he didn't. You know what his thing was? They even tried to kill him before they killed him. And then they tried all these other things. He would always pull back. Bro. He just always would go back to himself. He would go back to his secret place. And I think it's a good reminder, man. You do not need to escape life. All you need to do is remember and know. And when it comes to the secret place, dude, you don't need to meditate and pray harder. You need to be still and know. You understand? I would be hard pressed to tell you that you need to learn more things. Because the hardest part is actually knowing what you already know. Do you feel me? Let me ask you this. Have you made a mistake in life? Was it because of something you didn't know? Or how many more of your mistakes in life challenges could you attribute to not remembering what you already knew
versus making a new error or doing something that was, oh, if only I knew. Or usually that's the first time, and then that's why it's very easy to repeat mistakes. You just got to know. So I encourage you all, man. I hope you get a little confidence, and I hope you always have time to take a step back. Be still. Remember and know what you already know. It's a powerful, powerful thing. But that was a strategy. That was a secret place strategy. That was something the man, the myth, the legend, Jesus Christ did a lot. It was just knowing. Be still. That's what he says. He says, be still. He didn't say go harder, and it's funny because I don't know. It even relates to the next thing. I like going hard. I like doing stuff, and I don't know. It's just my personality. I like certain things. Why do you think I'm here every day, man? Why do you think it's just I get excited by things? And find your passion and let that go in there. But like, dude, just remember, don't let it get to the point of where you're being driven by something thinking you don't know, because you do know. And that's where I would argue things get way more exciting. The more and more you remember why you're here. Remember you got a purpose. Remember all of that, man. And it's a beautiful thing to mix in, and you'll see how that plays out in your life. So, and then again, it leads to the next part. Are you ready for this though? Are you ready for this, Chad? Oh, MDB 1.2. That's not the next thing I was gonna tell you. But some of you might like this. Some of you might not. But where is a brother born? Where do brothers come from? Those premiums are weird, but that's moving 2% now, 2.2. MDB, that's big, 2.6. See, isn't it ironic? A brother is born in a time of need. A brother is born in times of adversity. Oh. So I know, man, you want to live a life comfortable, easy, everything works. Everything's so great. It's so nice all the time. Everything's perfect. Woo! Yeah, MDB 3% now. The premiums are just, if you could get filled between the fucking spread, you might hit it. But yeah, something's happening with MDB. But yeah, do you get what I'm saying? And I want you to not forget this. Viz AI and Salesforce partner to enable real-time clinical data for pharma. No, that's not it. But that's coming out. But yeah, man. Just like, I don't know. Maybe, I feel like people like drama. I feel bad because I'm like, do I like drama? Because I don't know. It's a good reminder, man. A brother is born in a time of need. A brother is born in adversity. So why are you getting so afraid of it? And I hope you could be reminded, man. Dude, MDB now, it keeps doing it. But I hope you could be reminded, man, there's a blessing in adversity. And through that adversity, man, things are going to be born and created. Do you understand that? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Levitt says Trump will lay out housing initiatives in Davos speech. So I don't know, man. There's bad things that happen in hardship. Humans, we don't like times of need, but I hope you could focus on what gets born in there. Some good things. And sometimes that's why, I don't know. I liked last year a lot. There was a lot of opportunity, but I did see a lot of y'all get pushed to the right way. And I think turning up the heat a little bit. That's what I'm saying. I like the heat high. I'm actually not too afraid of adversity because I think it's a great thing in every sense of the word, in every type of area. It sucks for a little bit, but again, you will not be cast out forever. That's not how it works. But dude, the adversity and what gets created in it, I hope you remember and know. Don't forget about it. So keep that in your mind. And now, what I want to talk to you is something very interesting. And actually, I'll give you one more. Did you not get what I was saying yesterday? You know, some of you liked it. I like the book, and I'm telling you, man, where do you think this Bible came from? Who do you think was writing this? That's why I believe I think it's God. I think it's all powerful, man. I think it's actually crazy. But if you didn't get it yesterday, I'll make it very simple for you. I think an advanced civilization wrote the Bible. Okay? I think that Bible is way more advanced than we have given it credit for. And we like to think it's all old, and they were like, I don't know what they were using, carriages, riding donkeys. Oh, but I really think it was much more advanced than we give it credit for. Hence why, you know, pointing out some of these things that it really was alluding to and talking about, it was way ahead of its time. So, thought I'd clear that up just in case. Yeah, nothing new under the sun, baby. Nothing new under the sun. Amen. So, today, I want to talk to you about your mind and what's in it. But this might surprise you, because the thing I'm going to tell you about is Matthew 23. Matthew 23:11. Do you know what that one says? Here, let me read it to you. Let's see how you take this one. Let's see how I got a lot of good questions for you today. Matthew 23:11. The greatest among you will be your servant. What do you think that means? The greatest among you will be your servant. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. So if you ever want a good speech on humble, go listen to G.K. Chesterton. That's a great one. But he that is the greatest among you shall be your servant. So this is why the G.K. Chesterton does relate to this. But this is where it gets interesting. Are you ready? What happens when people read that? I think you've seen it. I think I've done it before. You're like, oh yeah? The greatest among you will be the servant? So what do people start to do? They artificially take upon themselves the humble work. Why do I say artificially? Because sometimes it don't make sense, and there's probably another reason. Oh, I'm gonna go clean the toilets at the church. Oh, I'm gonna go do all these. I'm gonna be humble. I'm gonna be humble. Why? Think about it. Why? Is it why do you want to be humble? Why do you want to do the lowest of work? Why do people read that and try to do that? I know you've seen it. Again, I know you've probably done it. Maybe tempted to, or maybe that's why you're like, bullshit. Is it because you want to be humble? Or is it because you want to be great? And then if the only way I could be great is to be the least, what does that lead to? That, my friend, is the ulterior motive. Are you following? I don't know if you get it. I think ever since G.K. Chesterton's day, this is what we've seen. You see a lot of fake humble. That's why I love what did he say? It's more insidious than anything. But you still see it today. I even see a lot of people pick up the book, pick up the beliefs, and they start doing this. Very tempting to. I want to be great, so I'm going to be humble. Does that sound humble? I'm going to humble myself because I have another motive. Huh? You're not becoming a nun or becoming a damn and going to a monastery to be humble. You're probably doing it for personal gain, 100%. So let me ask you, The greatest among you will be your servant. You hear? That's what it says. The greatest among you will be your servant. You want me to ask you a weird question? All of you in here, how does that work? A couple thousand of you. So who's the greatest in this room right now? It says the greatest among you will be your servant. So who is the greatest person in this room right now, Chattadonia? There's somebody. That means somebody in here. Someone in this room should be the greatest among us. And they will be serving us. Who is it? I could look at, I'd be like, who is that? You see, would I go down the list and start seeing who's the most humble? How do you know? Who's the greatest? Who the greatest among you will be your servant? Who? You're all here now. Who? How does that even work? Oh. I love it. You understand? The greatest among you is in this room right now. I believe that 100%. I believe the word. I believe the book. The greatest among you is in this room right now, and he is your servant. Do you know who the greatest among you is right now that's here and is literally serving you right now? Christ. And guess what? The Christ is your servant. What? What do you mean Christ is my servant? What do you mean? I'm pretty sure that's what Judas said to when the lady started washing his feet. Do you get what I'm telling you? The Christ in you will bring your mind to good. That's how that verse works. That's how that verse works without the fake humble. That's how that verse works. How can you walk into a room with thousands of people and say the greatest among you is going to serve you without being some theatrical game or people, oh, well, I'm that, you're this. No, you don't see it. Christ is in here right now. He is in every single one of us. This is the whole mind thing, the Christ consciousness. You have a Christ in your mind, and that's the next part. I'm going to tell you this. If the Christ is in you and is there to bring your mind to good, you get that, right? Christ will serve you. Why do you think so many people like myself are like, oh, I found Jesus, and now what do you think happened? What do you think happened with the train of thought, the mind, and then getting the mind to serve you in this world? Think about it. That's why, did you know Christ, like Jesus Christ? Do you know, Christ is not his last name? It's not, it's unfortunately, his last name was not Christ. They're like, Christ? Jesus Christ? Is Christ here? No, it's the Christ. You know what that is, right? Oh, it is. It's a title, a big title. It's the anointed one. It's the bigger and greater than all. It's a royalty. It means something commanding and ruling. So do you know what I'm gonna ask you? Why do you think I'm telling you this? I think this is very critical to how you will live your entire life. You know why? What's the Christ in your mind, brother? What is the thing that is ruling your mind right now? Because whatever you put as Christ is going to serve you. Did you choose the right one? How many people have made money their Christ? How many people have made social settings their Christ? How many people have made anything you could make? Man, how many people have made negativity their Christ? Seriously. Do you get it? Every single person in here right now, you are listening and how you are listening, I guarantee it's dictated by the Christ in your mind. That's why there's only one Christ. You could choose the right one, but at the same time, you do need to know what is commanding your mind. And whatever's commanding your mind should actually serve you. The greatest will actually serve you. And there you have it. So Chad, my real question for you today, and you don't have to answer it, you really don't. But you do got to think about this. You know, I challenged y'all a lot last year, and I still plan to. And this is one of the biggest challenges. And if the sooner you figure this out, and the sooner you align with it, watch what happens to your mind. Watch what you create. Watch how everything plays out. How you even handle your emotions, dog. What is ruling your mind? And if you can't answer that question, I don't think that's true. Does that make sense? Because you can't tell me you don't know what's ruling your mind, because even if you don't know, it doesn't change the fact something is ruling your mind. What gets you up in the morning? What gets you to even think about the future? What gets you to how you even behave with and interact with people? There's something ruling your mind, whether you were taught it or not. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of Christ. You don't get it? The real Christ, you get to accept it. And you get to act, because you could choose at any point. That's the wildest part about being a human. You haven't seen that? You haven't seen people change overnight. You haven't seen somebody, you see them in 10 years, they way different. Again, most people, your personality develops by like age 7, and you're generally the same personality-wise. But what is ruling your mind? That is a free will discussion. So I'm going to ask you again, what is ruling your mind? The greatest among you will be your servant. That's the beauty. Christ will serve you. That is the whole mantra. The whole thing with the mind. Why do you think we were talking it yesterday? I was telling you yesterday about the pineal, the blood. The mind is critical. It's insane. Critical and accurate thought is actually the most life-changing thing. Y'all would be shocked to know what you could accomplish. Some of you have started to believe because you heard it and you were like, let me try this. And lo and behold, your mind is working for you. Your mind is serving you. So again, what is ruling your mind? Yeah, give 10%. Some of you might like this one. That's the one I told some of you about last year. You know how the Bible says to tithe? And then they go and they get their nice suits on and they say, give me your money. Some of you might not like this, because I believe in tithing, but I believe in both. But I believe let me put it this way. You could give your money to a church. You could give all your money away. But if you don't understand the Christ in your mind and let it rule your mind, I don't think you're going to really know him. And I wish more churches told people this very directly. I wish more people just talked about this directly. You know how they say you only use 10% of your mind, right? And you're like, well, that was just proven. Bear with me. I think we could all agree that we're not fully using it. Why do you think we're so dumb sometimes? You're only using 10% of your mind right now. You have another 90% out there. Serve. That doesn't mean you have to clean a toilet. That doesn't mean you have to give everything away. You know what that means? If you could take that 10% of the mind that you are using now and let the Christ rule it, and you could give that over to the right side of your brain, then you unlock the 90%. Then you will be blessed over and over again. Not give me your money, you get a bunch of money back. Give God your mind, you're going to get a lot more of your mind back. So again, what is ruling your mind? Who is your Christ? So, I love it. And I hope, remember, like I said, just remember and know. I hope for this year, whatever happens or doesn't happen, I hope you place this value on what is ruling your mind and your mind in and of itself. Because you realize that's what's going to get you there, right? You realize what starts in the mind is going to start creating everything for you, or even destroy it. Every single good and bad thing that happened to you started with a thought in your mind. Even how you handled and responded to good and bad in your life, it starts with the thought. You control that. You let it serve you. Good. There you go. And vice versa. So take that to the bank. Control your mind. Tell me who's ruling it. And that is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure, I already said you're subscribed. You're good to go. And yeah, there it is. There it is, bro. There. Who's the Christ, dog? And isn't that amazing, though? Isn't that amazing? He's ruling your mind. You let him, but you get that. Don't get me started on the free will, man. The greatest among you will serve. That's why he knocks on the door.
Minnesota, but in states across the country, are essentially, they've referred to ICE agents who, again, are brave men and women. And I would encourage everyone in this room, and I would encourage Governor Walz and other Democrats who are demeaning law enforcement to sit down and have a cup of coffee with an ICE agent or a Border Patrol agent. These are great, patriotic men and women who have families, who put on the uniform every day and are following our nation's immigration laws at the direction of their bosses and again, at the direction of the law. They are simply trying to enforce the law. And the Democrat Party has demeaned these individuals. They've even referred to them as Nazis and as the Gestapo. And that is absolutely leading to the violence we're seeing in the streets. If you look at some of the images out of Minneapolis last night, look at this vehicle. Look at what it says. It says F ICE. You have these individuals who are putting their middle finger, proudly so, at the camera. Another ICE a vehicle that was vandalized last night by these left-wing agitators. People don't do this without encouragement from people in power who make them feel like it's okay. Here's another one. And I'm pretty sure this car, you can't see it, said the best agent is a dead agent or something to that effect. This is despicable rhetoric that we're seeing, and the media is absolutely complicit in this violence, because if you look at the headline from CNN, protests erupt after federal agent shoots man in Minneapolis. That is not the story. That is not the truth. If you actually want to know the truth, you can look at what the Department of Homeland Security released, which is that this ICE agent was executing a targeted operation against a Venezuelan illegal alien who was unlawfully present in the country. And when this ICE agent tried to detain the individual, 3 more of his comrades came rushing out of a house and started ambushing and attacking the ICE agent. They used a shovel or a broom to smash his face in. And so yes, that agent had to use self-defense and take up his weapon to protect his own life. That is what's happening on the streets of Minneapolis. That's what's happening on the streets, unfortunately, of these Democrat-run cities and states where you have elected officials who are encouraging such violence against our brave men and women in law enforcement.
Thank you, Caroline. 2 questions. First, a follow-up on one of my colleagues who asked you about the president's interview with Reuters. You said that he was joking about canceling the elections, but Americans for generations have fought and died for democracy, for this democracy. Are you saying that the president finds the idea of canceling elections funny?
Andrew, were you in the room? No, you weren't. I was in the room. I heard the conversation, and only someone like you would take that so seriously and pose it as a question in that way.
Second,
Caroline,
next
Thank you, Caroline. Senator Elizabeth Warren said that the president called her earlier this week to discuss caps on credit card interest rates. I'm curious, would the president work with her and other Democrats in Congress on a legislative fix to this issue?
I think the president would work in good faith with anyone in Congress for a good legislative fix that would benefit the American people. And that's precisely why he called Senator Warren earlier this week on that matter.
Thanks, Caroline. Earlier, you were just defending ICE agents generally, and earlier on, Secretary Noem spoke to the media, and she said, among other things, that they are doing everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 US citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my
Yeah.
opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed it unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised and your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist. Kelly.
Two quick questions on Iran. I wanted to ask first, just if you can say, how close was the president to potentially launching strikes last night, and was it the Gulf states that convinced him not to do that, as some of the region there have said?
Well, look, Kelly, I know there's been a lot of speculation in the media about what the president is going to do at any given moment or any given night. And I would say a lot of these stories, to be honest with you, I've been reading them, and they've been based on anonymous sources who are pretending or guessing to know the president's thinking. The truth is, only President Trump knows what he's going to do, and a very, very small team of advisors are read into his thinking on that. And as I just told you, he continues to closely monitor the situation on the ground in Iran. And as we saw yesterday, he had heard that the killings and executions would stop, and we have seen 800 people, their lives have been spared as a result of that. The president continues to closely monitor, but also keep all of his options on the table.
Caroline, two separate questions.
Sure.
On the Machado meeting first, what is it that the president feels that he needs to hear from her or from the opposition party that he hadn't heard prior to today, or he wanted to hear in the meeting, to be able to convince him to commit to some sort of a timeline for elections?
I'm not sure the president is going into such the meeting with expectations like you just laid out, Fran. I don't think he needs to hear anything from Ms. Machado. I think generally this is a meeting that the president was willing to take and willing to accept, to meet Ms. Machado in person and to just have a frank and positive discussion about what's taking place in Venezuela. That's all.
And on the subject of Greenland, Jeff Landry, the president's special envoy for Greenland, wasn't in the White House meeting yesterday. Can you say why that was and what exactly the role he is playing in these conversations about acquiring Greenland?
Well, the Vice President and the Secretary of State were present for that meeting, and the meeting, it was a productive meeting. It was a good meeting, and in that meeting, the two sides agreed to really establish a working group of individuals who will continue to have technical talks on the acquisition of Greenland. Those talks will take place, I'm told, every 2 to 3 weeks, so this is a conversation the administration intends to keep having with the Danes and with the respected delegation from Greenland. But the president has made his priority quite clear. He wants the United States to acquire Greenland. He thinks it's in our best national security to do that.
There have been multiple instances of American citizens being detained by ICE, and I'm wondering what the administration is asking the agency to do, or what steps is the administration asking the agency to take to ensure that Americans are not wrongly arrested?
Obviously, ICE is focused on detaining individuals who are unlawfully present in the country. And there have been hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens who have been arrested and detained and deported from this country by ICE over the course of the last year. And that's their intention, and that is their goal.
Elizabeth. Thank you, Caroline. What about Greenland? You reportedly sent troops over there. Does that change at all what the president is doing on this? And then a second question. Yesterday, in a Senate help hearing, Senator Josh Hawley repeatedly asked a doctor if men can get pregnant, and she did not directly answer that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, to your first question on Greenland, I don't think troops in Europe impact the president's decision-making process, nor does it impact his goal of the acquisition of Greenland at all. To your second question, I mean, anyone in their right mind with common sense who's speaking honestly and candidly will say that men cannot get pregnant. And I think I can attest to that myself. So thank you all very much.
that was a great way to end it. Well, nah, man. I think all of it, everybody's crazy. But I don't think the abolish ICE thing is a really good stance. You know why? Because even some liberals have said this. Let's be real, okay? The goal should not be to eliminate law enforcement. What do people want? What can we all agree with? Can we all agree that it should be lawful, targeted, and worthy of trust? That's why the people rioting and like getting in the way and being weird about it, it's very odd. Because like I'm saying, like where some of you guys are watching the videos and you like, you know, and they make mistakes, it's like, it's not like they're making mistakes under the same environment of the last like 10, 15 years where nobody knew what the fuck was going on. You had a lot of people deported without any press, and all these people are doing. I think both sides can really agree with it. Yeah, like they should be a lot better on who they're picking, and there should be a real legitimate process behind it. But this whole like abolish ICE is actually it's a very extreme idea. Do you guys understand that? That's like, it's actually kind of crazy. Like, it's really, really wild. There's some of y'all bringing up, I don't know, what do you say? You said Nürburgring. They said we're just following orders in Germany. Yeah, well, don't forget, you remember when they also like didn't have freedom of press? At least you get to hear these questions. At least you get to see it all. But that's the other part. God forbid we ever go back to what we were doing 4 years ago, or a couple years ago, where you wouldn't even be able to talk about this disagreement without getting banned on YouTube, getting banned on the internet, anywhere you want. So yes, can both sides do better? Fuck yeah. And I think that's what you should be advocating for. But to advocate for the end of law enforcement, to kill law enforcement agencies, that's ridiculous. Like, that's absolutely like, don't bite the apple. You are being radicalized and come on, you got to really think about it. Like I'm saying, it's simple. Not eliminate enforcement. You want lawful, targeted, and it should be worthy of public trust. That's the real point right there. It should be to the point where it's actually everybody can trust it and be able to say, yeah, that's legitimate. That's what we want. But remember, man, how did Trump win? Part of it, like when you go and see those photos out of Minneapolis and all these videos and people deciding they don't agree with law enforcement, and now they have carte blanche to go and literally get in the, like, I've never seen anything like it. Again, to the point, do you not see what they were doing yesterday? They got these ICE agents to abandon their vehicles because of all the rioters, and now everybody's, no pun intended, walking on ice because of how, you know, the rhetoric and how high it is, and then they're jacking the guns, and they were spray painting kill ICE agents on vehicles. So you may not, like, that's what I'm saying. There's been things where you're like, hey, is that worthy of public trust? Is that, wait a minute, why are you going after certain people? And that's the things that need to be reformed. But to try to go and fight, get in the way, and be a full-on anarchist and advocate the abolishment of law enforcement is actually insane. You know, and I think the real middle ground is, again, it should be worthy of every American's public trust. It doesn't matter what, again, if you're an extremist on either side, then yeah, you're not listening. But, you know, I think we could all agree on that in a very one. But now abolishing the IRS, hey. But yeah, so, and then can men get pregnant? I don't know. That was the ending of that. But yeah, bro, it's kind of crazy. I've never seen anything like that, with the whole, like, massive groups being like, kill law enforcement agencies. You don't, I guess maybe in the 70s and 80s, but I wasn't alive then. But in my lifetime, very fascinating. I think it's a very W take, man. I think that's what represents the normal Americans. And that's why I'm saying, like, that's why people are seeing those images, and like half of those images just support the reason why Trump got elected in the first place. And then the other half, it's getting people to think, you know, it's deteriorating the public trust, which, again, I don't believe they fully have earned it. But also, I don't believe that they should be targeted, harassed, and being put in this environment that only makes it harder. But then again, I think you could reform and be a lot better. And again, they've been deporting people long before anybody was making social media videos about it. So either way, you could decide get it where you fit in, man. If you want to be radicalized, you can. But I do think we need to find some good balance. Because that's what I'm saying. The amount of radicalization that still exists is fascinating. In 1960s, future will be awesome. 2026. So can men get pregnant or not? It's weird. Doctors won't, like Cali doctors, they're like, they really won't do that. It's just that's why, man, we're 60, 70 years post World War II now. So I think it's a different time. Chesterton's fence. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, some people, what I told you is that's a liberal take. That's the normal liberal take, not the, that's what I'm saying. Some people are even telling people to kind of abandon this approach of this whole abolish ICE because in a weird way, it supports a real big reason why Trump got elected. I mean, watching anarchy it doesn't really inspire confidence. Like I'm saying, I think a lot of people, you see things, and I don't think every ICE agent acted appropriately. But to go and now harass and try to kill these people and act a certain way, and then people in the streets blocking stuff, doing all this shit, it's really it's very odd, and it really highlights one of the campaign things that Trump ran on about going to a common sense. I think liberals would do a lot better at the midterms and the elections if they actually just toned it down and again reform ICE. I don't think you would get too much pushback. Abolish ICE, get in their way, go and do all these other things. It's actually it's kind of insane, and I don't think that's an America anybody on either side would want to live in unless you're the one fucking holding the fucking flame, burning down cars and shit. They do. Bill Clinton would make speeches about deporting people. They all did. They all do millions a year. That's why this one was weird. I know Trump made it. Remember the first Trump, people made his border wall a big issue, but then this time, he did run on the immigration theme. But yeah, I didn't think you were gonna get this immigration anarchy when right now the numbers are lower than all of them. So that's why I'm saying it's like people want more trust in it, but at the same time, it's like you have never seen this type of pushback from deportations when you have done millions more. Yeah, that's what all this is showing. It's really eroding the rule of law, and so what's the point of a government if people aren't gonna have a certain general respect for it? And that's why the whole killing and abolishing law enforcement, it makes absolutely zero sense unless that is your goal of eliminating anarchy. Happened to MDB? That came down. That was fun while it lasted if you got it. Well, yeah, we're done with Philo. Oh, I didn't even get you any uncle, bro. I was gonna play you Humble so you could hear the GK Chesterton.
Bill Clinton was... I mean, then again, don't get me started on Billy Boy. Nothing on oil either. Dude, we ain't moving do shit yet. Liberals and preachers. Oh yeah, that could be a good one. Get you some humble. No, relax. You got 4 more years, 3 more years. It'll almost be 2030. Remember, presidents come and go. The long term is forever. Call, baby. If a humble man tell you to be humble, he a narcissist. Tell that to the arsonist, the pharmacist. I wonder about the Stalinist, the Darwinist. I must insist, the things that we up against don't play defense. So next time that you take offense, my boundary just another fence. Don't forget, remember this. Already lost everything. Don't tell me about a fucking risk. I'm humble, but I'm powerful. But I don't have to tell you. There's some moments that you can't forget. So if I'm fake, come and get me now. It's not a big head, I just know the size of the crown. You watched a lot of porn. Does it look like I'm fucking around? You didn't like me then, I didn't hope that you would like me now. You want peace, I want it too. You want war, I got a crew. But I won't lie, dog, I only need a few. So tell me what you really wanna do. Man, I swear I'm just like you. Cause the tongue brings life, but it brings death too. Please just move. Good advice is never taken by a fool. I took a look at life like a mechanic, look at tubes. Cheap, fast, and quality, could only pick 2. Mannequin, I'm rude, but in a panic, in a fuel. Would you want it on your team, or do you want it against you? The humble made me hungry, I will eat any food. Humble made me better, fake humble made me confused. The truth is that there is a real humility typical of our time. But it so happens that it's practically a more poisonous humility than the wildest prostrations of the ascetic. The old humility was a spur that prevented a man from stopping, not a nail in his boots that prevented him from going on. For the old humility made a man doubtful about his efforts, which might make him work harder. But the new humility makes a man doubtful about his aims, which will make him stop working altogether. Why the people in the government pay more than the teachers? Why they always want my money? Both the liberals and preachers separate the church and state. But devil on my speakers, and they told us not to hate. But don't apply to Jesus, I don't know, no. I got a couple questions. If I said them all out loud, then you would treat me different. Whoa. I got a couple questions. Can you tell me anybody where I should direct? Why the people in the government pay more than the teachers? Why they always want my money? Both the liberals and preachers separate the church and state. But devil on my speakers, and they told us not to hate. But they don't apply to Jesus, I don't know, no. I got a couple questions. If I said them all out loud, then you would treat me different. Whoa, I got a couple questions. Can you tell me anybody where I should have read a book about a man? He would travel many places, you could find him in a cave or a mountain. He was praying, he would talk about the enemy. They say Satan is Satan, it depends on the translation, but that's the point I'm saying. If I said his name Muhammad, would have told me that was awesome. If I said his name was Moses, would have told me that he chosen. If I said his name Confucius, would have said darn it, I know it. If I said his name was Jesus, then you changed the way you treat us. Mrs. Phillips traded time, Miss Pelosi traded stacks. Mrs. Phillips molded minds, Miss Pelosi knew her wines. One of them is worth millions, the other not a dime, and it happens all the time. So my question is the why? We still gon' live the same. Care more about the words they say, but not about the extra change. I think it's kinda strange, the younger generation thinking guns and war's the only way to really heal the pain. The people in the government pay more than the teachers. Why they always want my money? Both the liberals and preachers separate the church and state, but the devil on my speakers, and they told us not to hate, but that don't apply to Jesus.
Country, bro. Amen, man. Amen. Amen, dog. Amen. Okay, man. I got you, dog. Yeah, we're back now. I was here the whole time. That's it. We got to, I don't know. I wanted to see how slow it was today. I wanted to listen to the press briefing, and then they're like, ICE! People dying, Trump canceling election. So I think you needed to wash it out for a little bit. But then again, I mean, there's two different worlds, man. The internet and then like IRL. So yeah, man, take care of your communities. And that's that why too. Let's get back to remember I told you civilization is dope. You know that? Because like I have some pretty crazy ideas. I don't really trust anybody. I don't know if you've noticed, but that's why I don't think the government's your friend, even if it is a Donald J. Trump. So that's why. But civilization is dope. That's why. We've came a long way. But we gotta peace and love, dog. Peace and love. But we get to live in a very interesting time. This is like it's a weird remix. I mean, it's a different level of it's like a inverse Red Scare, because they were kind of crazy too. Imagine back in the day where they used to think if you were a commie they would go crazy, and then back in the Salem witch trials, if you so yeah, you know what I'm saying, bro. I mean, we're running through the timeline of society. So but yeah, you get to choose, man. And then we have the internet, so that's a cool one. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, off topic or not, this is the good moment. I don't think we're gonna do much, man. A couple of names pop in later in the day. They worked their way up. Lace was at the conference. That one actually moved. Couldn't imagine living in the Salem witch trials. That was a trip, huh? That's what I'm saying. Like, even then, if you were like, they would just accuse you of anything. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't studied the Salem witch trials since like middle school, but they taught us that. I like the commie scare. That was like a more modern time. That was an interesting one. They would investigate people. That's all they would do. They'd be like, he's Russian. He's a socialist commie. Mm-hmm. But then again, though, and like even you kind of have it with the fascism thing today, because like the same people will be like, fascist, silence the media. Sorry, we would support the last. What's it called? I'm already blanking on it. What is it called? Oh yeah, censorship. I had to block it out of my mind. They censored us too hard. But yeah, man. So I don't know if we'll ever get to the tide turning. But then again, all of those times were like you were more closer to wars. And like you were more closer to like bigger changes in society, politics, geopolitics, all of that. Your dad got trailed from Denver to East Coast because he shared a beer with a suspected Russian spy back in the day? No way. What? That's a pretty crazy story. It sounds like a movie. I mean, yeah, it was like, I forgot who it was. They investigated people in Congress, and they would I think they put people in jail. So yeah, we got a long history. But then everybody compares America to Rome, but didn't Rome have a couple hundred years of history? And we're only on 250? So we still got time, you guys. You still got time, technically speaking. Do I think Y2K was a ritual and made time accelerate? No, I do not. I've never even heard that. I just was scared the world was going to end for a little bit. But then I was at grandma's house, and then it didn't end, and then I was mad that I had to go to school the next day, or whenever the weekend was over. But no, I haven't really thought about it like that. I've heard people say time accelerated. Have you ever seen those people put the phones together? And people will have phones, and then one phone, then they're like, I had this phone for 5 years. They show 2 different times. But the only evidence I have of time accelerating is my hairline. That we could make a real investigation. Because I shouldn't have lost this much hair. But then again, I don't know why. Even then, bro, even when I thought I lost it, when I thought my hairline was receding, it really wasn't. But then that's why I'm bald maxing now. But other than that, yeah, it's good. Rome was 1,000 years. I always hear people talk about Rome and the fall of America, but that means we have 750 more years of this shit, dude. So we're again, Switzerland is a very old country. So yeah, America is technically a very baby nation. Do I go to church? Every now and then I try to, but I do listen online, and I like to go in person. I'll go with my moms and dad sometimes, but I'm not too, I don't know. The last time, bro, I went to this church, and then they kept fucking selling me Dave Ramsey books. I was getting so mad. I was like, dude, stop it. But yeah, I think it's good for communion. But yeah, I like to listen to a lot of different preachers, and it's good to have communion. That one is called Swimwear by Uncle Answers. It's on SoundCloud. The Americans is a decent show. I think I've watched that back in the day a little bit. Your dad was 19, graduated, went on a national park trip, had a beer in Denver, and they followed him and questioned him. What a trip, dude. Yeah, man. The Red Scare. The Cold War. They had EVs in South America in the year 20,000. Wouldn't that mean, no, if we did another 1,000 years, that would be the year 3,000. So theoretically, if we followed the timeline of Rome, America would collapse in the year 3076? Or yeah, 3076. Holy shit. Iran's still going. That one actually launched a little bit. Everything's so gradual today, and I'm still shocked at the staples. I thought they were going to chill out, but no. Wells Fargo bond offering. Why the people in the government pay more than the teacher? Citi reports credit card charge-offs at 2.5, delinquencies at 1.42. Trump to lower tariffs to 15 on goods from Taiwan. Watch Intel. It moved on that one last time. Again, the whole TSM thing. But SPY's kind of moving around there. Taiwan pledges $250 billion in each chip investment, credit guarantees.
Yeah, that's coming out again. Or it's getting reiterated. I think it's all just coming out now. So you're getting something on Taiwan and tariffs. That's so crazy that the biggest move was fucking Trump posting an infographic. That's great. Oh, and then Robin Hood. Habibi, it's going to be very, very slow. Very, very slow, Habibi. Until you get, you need the Run It Hot theme. The Rosel is Habibi. They don't want to make a move. Idiocracy was the year 2500. I mean, shit, it's close. That's like 1200 years early, give or take. But yeah, we might be. All those are the Taiwan headlines. So, honestly, not too big of a reaction though on anything else. I don't know what it is on the SPY. Canagra. Let's see what else we got. Dow Jones, 18 green, 12 in the red. That got a little bit better. NASDAQ got a little worse, 55. Yeah, NASDAQ's only up 0.7. Meanwhile, the fucking Russell doubled it. And then SPY, 355 green, 140. 7 in the red. On receiving some inheritance that totals 33% of my long term. Would you space it out? Yeah. I mean, you could, I don't know, you could use maybe 13% of it in a lump sum and put it towards something, or spread it out amongst a couple and then hold 20% cash. Or maybe, I don't know, have you do you own a home now, or have you thought about getting a property? Maybe that could be a down payment, or you could use it for something, and then you could still keep your long term. But yeah, if you get the idea though, you should space it out regardless. I mean, you could, just because again, you don't want to hold too much cash, but the rule when you get it, anytime you come into contact with any amount of money, if it's a big amount of money and it comes in fast, you should sit on it for 30 days without doing anything. And then, because that's the first skill or step, is show that you could actually hold the money for 30 days. Now, granted, if you already have a long term and it's already seems like you got that under your belt, and like I'm saying, you could kind of just start treating it like cash in that sense and, go the whole 20% rule. But I wouldn't go all in on anything. I would just little by little, if for anything, no matter how the money comes in, little by little, or even just starting out, scaling in like that is probably going to be your best bet. The China invading? I don't know, man. Like I'm saying this morning with remember last year China was supposed to really turn up and they didn't. But I still believe that China is not in a position to take over Taiwan. I think China has more problems at home. Oh, you guys want tinfoil? I have China tinfoil. I don't know if you've heard this. Kind of reminds me. Are you ready for it? It's a really, really good one, bro. Are you ready for it? This one's kind of crazy. The tinfoil is that China does not have 1 billion people. So there's people who think that China overinflated their population numbers by 3 times. They think China is 300 million people, 400 million people, like America pretty much. So yeah, that would change a lot. That's some tin I could wear. I've heard, dude, I've heard they even say India is a lot lower too, but people have said that especially China, that it's all inflated, which is kind of wild because most of my life I'm under the impression China is a very populated place. But yeah, there's been some tin going around of people heavily doubting that, both people in China and obviously Americans. So yeah, but even without that, just looking at their economy, how it's played out, everything, and that's why I've been saying for years, just if you've been following their situation, it just doesn't really they're really weak right now. It's obviously they could be doing better, but what they did with COVID, the social prosperity and all that other stuff, it really hampered them. And
you would have thought they would have been able to bounce back a little sooner, but it's still really been struggling. And that's why I was like, I don't think it is in their priorities to take over Taiwan. And I don't think they're like America where they benefit off of war in the same way. So yeah, Santa Barbara's where you live. Why not buy a rental in Ohio? So until you get a house you can find to live in, again, Ohio's been popping. You can find a cheap rental. I mean, granted, it might be a little bit more work, and if it is your first property, it's not really the best idea to go too far away. Maybe we could get you a house in Hemet or something if you want. They got a Bros. They got a Bros coffee, man. What's it called? Stater Bros? Is it just called Bros? Why am I blanking on it now? Why do I only know the ticker? Dutch Bros, not Stater Bros. Yeah, Dutch Bros. Well, that's what people say. Yeah, back to the China thing, though. But like I'm saying, I just don't think it's their priority right now, and I just don't think they could handle it. I don't think they could handle a full-blown Taiwan invasion while people there are struggling. The economy hasn't bounced back in years. They're trying to do austerity measures in other ways that it just doesn't make sense. But so I've always said that. You guys don't remember? We bought Baba, we bought Baidu. They're like, Josh, Taiwan, they go invade Taiwan. So that hasn't happened. I've heard that my whole entire investing career too, might I add. Since the first, my first thing on China was like, you never bought China stocks because they were scams. And that's what would happen in like the early 2000s. Like China names would be really scammy. And you've seen that with like Lukin and other names. But after you get over that, and then Baba was really, I bought the Baba IPO. I don't know if you guys know, 2014. I was there. I woke up early in the morning and I was there for the Baba IPO. I even got shares before it opened through E-Trade. I love the Baba IPO, man. I was a big fan of Alibaba. I've known about Alibaba a really long time. But, you know, once we got over the China's a scam thing, that was like, it was kind of chill. But other than that, I've literally my whole entire life, I've heard people be worried about the Taiwan invasion. And it has not happened. And I don't think we're getting any closer, unfortunately. Greenland Bros. Oh my gosh. Wait, isn't Dutch Bros? Wait, do we get all the Dutch Bros in the Greenland deep? Oh my gosh. Memphis houses are going to zero. I disagreed with you. Yeah, they might go down, but you know those houses got copper, right? You know, I at least give you $6 for a pound. You know, I'll do $4 cash a pound. You deal? No? Okay. You have to haul it. But yeah, that's why I like real estate, because like even if nobody wanted to live in it, you could like light it on fire to keep yourself warm. You could go under the roof to get away from the rain. You could turn into a crackhead and strip the copper. You could sell the stove. You know, a lot of things are in the house. Unless they beat you to it, then that's a different story. Yeah, maybe, you know, them crackheads quick, dog. Them crackheads quick. Gotta watch out. That's what they were doing during 08. You guys know that? During 08, bro, when the houses would get foreclosed, people would just go in, steal the appliances, and then they would strip the copper. Fed Paulson, comfortable holding rates steady. Labor market risk a little higher than risk, but sticky inflation. Sees monthly inflation returning to levels at 2. Neutral rate a little lower. Modestly restrictive will help Fed finish the job on inflation. Any sign labor market is breaking versus bending will get sharp attention. Powell has been a very effective chair. That's coming in right now. I think there is a Lukin Coffee in Manhattan. I do. I think they did open one in America. I heard they have good tea. I forgot where I heard that. I think I was either in New York or I saw a video. I can't remember. But I remember somebody talking about Lukin Coffee's tea. And they were like hyping it up.
Yeah, I think there is one in America. I'm pretty sure there is. You could feel the danger in Memphis. So you live there, but then like, how have you survived? And I say that because if you feel the danger, it's all cheap, but like you've survived, I mean, you might have a unique advantage out there. Have you ever thought about that? So, I don't know. That could be a good one. Fiserv did just dump, and FFIV. Stocks with an F. Yeah, we have that. That was like a couple years ago. Somebody literally stole my power breaker to sell the copper. That was so disappointing. I still can't believe that happened, bro. And he stole everybody's. You know that? He got into my neighborhood, and this was at like 7, 8 in the morning, and this crackhead, just like reeling from lack of crack, just drove by every house without, I don't know why. I never thought about this in my life. I never had a fucking like lock on my breaker box until then. Anybody who didn't have a locked up breaker box, which was most people, he fucking just ripped it out one by one, bro. This guy would literally drive into everybody's house, and then he'd park, and then he'd like start walking around and just go house to house to house. I think I want to say he got like 75 of them in that morning, and then they caught him like a week later. I was like, that's amazing. I don't know what he stole it for, because I was thinking, how much copper? Now that I know it's by the pound, I'm so much more disappointed. The cop said he was getting like $50 a unit, that they were paying him like $50 for $30 for every breaker. I was like, you're a fucking idiot. Dude, it cost me like $700 to fix it. I was like, let me give you $250, bro. I'll give you $250 Passover. Can I do like a crackhead Passover? What do? I put like fucking tar above the breaker box, and then I'll put like a $200 there. Fucking I'll tape it to like a cat toy or something, make him have some exercise. Nah, he got good exercise. I tell you, when the crackheads try to rob me after I gave him shit on Craigslist. So in Vegas, after college, I wanted to live in Vegas for a little bit. I only lasted 6 months. I just wanted to try it. My neighbor was Floyd Mayweather. It was a good time. He had a cool little house. But I was leaving, getting ready to leave Vegas, right? And I had this big ass table. And I was like, I can't take it. I'll just give it away. I was like, I don't know if I could sell this gigantic ass table. And I put it on Craigslist. And I said, if you could take it, it's yours. Bro, the 3 skinniest meth heads in my life show up. They have a truck. Not one of them weigh more than 90 pounds. 2 guys and a girl. And I'm like, bet, bro. I've never seen people. They were more efficient than any movers I've ever seen, bro. Just fucking methed out of their minds. They had a method to their madness. And dog, I was very impressed. I was like, oh, word. They were excited. They loved it, bro. Like, dog, they weren't even getting tired. I was like, dog. So I think it was like a 15 or 18 foot table. It was, dude, it was massive. And then, right? And then they leave that night. Or like it was middle of the day, and they leave. But on their way out, they stole the garage opener. And then they tried to get back into the house and rob us later that night. But we were all there. It was like, dog, what are you doing? And then they fucking just scurried like little cockroaches. I'm like, bitch, I know it's you. You came in the same exact automobile. Oh my gosh. I was like, man, fuck you guys. Like, what little dickheads. Yeah. And then that's solid plan, poor execution. I think they couldn't, if they were a little bit more patient, because we told them, we're leaving, man. We're moving out. But they didn't. They really wanted to come back. I was like, you fucking idiots.
Man, I guess it's good though. Save my security deposit. I don't know what's going on with this. Is it Apple again? Yeah, dude, but I don't doubt them though. They would have got everything. They would have got that fridge. One of them would have carried the fridge. The other one would have grabbed this. They were so strong, dude. I can't explain it. They looked like they were made of toothpicks, but they were the strongest people I've ever encountered. It was wild, bro. It was wild. That's why I said, kids, don't do drugs, okay? Don't do drugs. Don't, even if you get temporary gains. What's wrong with the world today? You're skipping over the Floyd being your neighbor. It was like his second house. It wasn't like the main one, but he would be there. We'd pull up and see him. And then when you drive by, they had a big ass, dude, this was the most Floyd Mayweather shit ever. I thought it was really cool at the time. This is before we started calling people narcissists and shit. This was pre-woke days, actually. But still social media. But I think I have a picture somewhere. You would drive by his house, and there is a big ass window by the front door, and all you see in the window is a gigantic photograph of Floyd Mayweather. Of himself. He had it. That's it. The first thing you see outside of the house and inside of the house, next to this crazy ass chandelier, it's just Floyd, just looking at you. So I thought it was the coolest thing out. I said, wow, I guess we should have known. Some people have been like, this guy's full of himself. I was like, he's the greatest. He ain't lose a fight. But yeah, it was dope. But no, Vegas was fun for a month. It's really different outside of the Strip. It's very, very different outside of the Strip. It's a whole different world. That's why it's kind of like Arizona, because it's still a desert. But I like the Strip a lot more now. But I don't even know last time I went to Vegas. Maybe we go. We got a 3-day weekend. Party. But I don't know. All I want to go to is the Fontainebleau. I just want to see that spa. All right, man. You're back to the low of the day with an hour and a half left. You're about to try Celsius for the first time. Just don't get a heart attack. People have said that. I think Celsius have had a lot of complaints, but I've had Celsius no problem. It's a lot of caffeine though. I think it's 300 milligrams per. So it's a lot of what is it? Watered down crack. It's a different type of meth. Miami. I like Miami, bro. Oh, wait, you trying to get me to go to Miami? Because now I want to go to Miami. That sounds fun. Is it humid there? Isn't it usually nice in the winter? Oil's not moving, bro. Look at this. 6 hours. You never realized how much caffeine. You had 3 in a day? I don't know. It affects people differently. I've heard the complaints. I think they've been sued for people taking the caffeine and it's fucked with some people. But I know it's but then I've had 2 Celsiuses in a day before, and I didn't. All right, Spy's dumping. Hi. I don't know if this is just late stage chip shit or Apple again, because Apple is near that low. But yeah, you get in a little bit of a red. And that's where we flushed from earlier. I'd keep your eyes up, my friends. Again, we had Fed Pulse in a little bit earlier, and then I think Bitcoin's dumping too. Yeah, take a look. Low ticker fully maxed out. Bitcoin on the low. Oil's not moving, and then bonds. Honestly, this might just be it could be your Thursday dump. Because there's nothing really tracking with this. I mean, be on the lookout if a headline comes in, but at this point, it looks like Oracle. Oracle and crypto, and then Apple, Microsoft just doing what they were doing earlier. Oracle's a little newer. What's wrong with the world today?
Yeah, you had tariff stuff earlier. Are they delaying the January personal income has been rescheduled for March 13th and personal report for April 9th. It does that every time. We've seen that phenomenon, but I don't know what it was going to be. I don't think that was just a little bigger with tech, but I don't think it's anything. Couple names still going up. It's all tech, dude. Because remember, Russell's still killing it. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's a headline on that. I think just a little late day tech dump. Womp, womp, womp. I think NVIDIA is the only one. NVIDIA and Meta. Surprisingly, Meta's usually the bad one. Amazon's still green too, but Microsoft and Apple are pretty bad. And remember, Apple had that dump earlier. But yeah, there's no headline on that. That was just the Thursday move, man. You need a little pre-power hour, a little pre-game. You came in, but you had to watch 3 ads before. You were pissed. I'm sorry. But it helped you. Nothing happened. It's just dramatic. Dude, this day has been, you know, the last couple days were kind of exciting, but this one has just been a gap up earnings, post-earnings move. And then, yeah, we had a little move like this earlier with Apple. So it's kind of the continuation if you kind of look at it, but it saved you. Nothing happened, man. Nothing happened. You're good to go. You're good to go.
In this,
dude, the news has been even weird today. They're not talking about anything going on. Everything they brought up. Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's cool to hear about it now, and then we're going to see billions of dollars possibly going in that direction. Keeping an eye on
You
the
got
markets
Lutnick
here,
comments.
Dipping somewhat, or at least on the Dow front.
That might be it.
But let's bring in, not dipping, it's dipping from the highs. You know what I'm saying. Another tech watcher.
But it was
who
he
is
said stuff
covering
about
Amazon,
TSM.
Alphabet, and Meta here to react to that interview and more. Mark Mahaney is head of internet research at Evercore ISI. Mark, obviously the chips are setting the tone here. So against that backdrop, a deal with Taiwan to produce more of that, try to do it more so here, tells you there's more and more CapEx going into the space.
You're in a minority,
and that's
man.
been lifting the
I had no music
Does
for
anything
like
stop
a
that
week,
narrative?
and everybody, they said no music is disgusting.
I don't think anything does. At least not in the next year.
I know,
or
man,
two.
Mr. Ham. I
Since
like your name.
I cover the companies that are spending
Apparent.
$300 to
That's
$400
crazy,
billion
man.
now on capex. A lot of that driven by AI. I think the demand for these
Is
companies
it a lot of pork
to continue to
in the
invest,
background?
This is not going to be the peak investment year in
But
AI,
yeah, man,
and
the
AI
people
CapEx.
want
This
it,
is
bro.
not going to be.
The
It's gonna
people
continue
want
to
it.
rise next year. Maybe at a more moderate pace, but it's going to continue to rise.
All right, I'll be right
because I
back.
think
Follow
these
me on
companies
Instagram at the Trading
quite
Fraternity.
rightly are seeing very
Real
good
Cult News on
ROIs or
Twitter.
ROIs on their spend. So yeah, this is all feeding the narrative that we're in a capex cycle. We're in a new industrial tech cycle. It's called AI, and I think there's a lot of companies, increasing number of companies that are going to benefit from that.
Yeah, so what is your playbook then? Is it, there are a few names in kind of the Mag 7 trade that didn't have as good of a 2025. Amazon, for instance, comes to mind. So let's not confuse kind of the semis or even the AI trade with where we might see those gains being distributed right now. And what's your guess on that?
Yeah. So look, my top pick at the beginning of last year was Uber. Then I switched to Google. So I made plenty of bad calls, but I got those 2 calls right. And my top pick right now is Amazon. In part because there's a little bit of reversion to the mean. It was the worst performing Mag 7 last year. I think valuation's very reasonable. But I love the setup on Amazon right here, right now. I think you're going to have accelerating AWS growth as we go through the year. I think there's just a sector-wide, industry-wide, economy-wide interest in investing in cloud services, AI-enabled cloud services, and AWS is one of the biggest wins off that. And then you've got this retail segment that I think is going to actually surprise people with accelerating growth. There's the big, beautiful, bill benefits that'll help all retail, including Amazon. You've got faster delivery. You've got Rufus. So you've got agentic commerce functionality. It's making online retail better, and Amazon's one of the best examples of that. And I love this kind of fresh produce, this perishable checkout offering that they have. And with retail accelerating, so will advertising. So you got an accelerating story. You're going to have a prime price increase coming up probably in the next month.
Oh boy.
All of that's going to flow to the bottom line too. Margins are going up too. I love Amazon right here.
All right. Well, let me just ask then a larger question. As I think about what we just heard from the Commerce Secretary and some of the news flow, we just heard the Kansas City Fed president, who's not a voting member right now and always hawkish, but say that they don't think rates should be lowered this year. But JP Morgan has also said that. Traditionally, when we talk about a looser Fed, we're talking about tech being at the forefront, rates coming down, your sector's right in the leadership. What if we're not talking about that anymore?
Well, you're taking me now a little bit out of my power alley, but I'm going to give you a few thoughts. Look, I just reacting to the recent
says he's
news.
visiting
love it as a average
China,
citizen. Love it when
Trump
tariffs
is
come
in April.
down. More manufacturing in this country.
Good
is
news.
a good
Why do they
thing.
want to sell it
And,
off before?
there's going to be more manufacturing around the globe. To
China
support,
trade talks
this
won't be
AI
derailed
boom.
by
If more of that
Taiwan
occurs
deal.
cost efficiently in the U.S., I think that's great. And then in terms of
but on the Fed front, I think my question is, traditionally a looser Fed, you often see, which, they're lowering rates. That's been underpinning the whole rally.
Yo,
but
we need a
especially
stretch,
tech
bro.
stocks, right?
Today it's been so
if
slow.
we now
How
are
did we
talking
forget
about a Fed on the margin
Yeah,
that,
bro, I need to
we
move
have
around
JP
a
Morgan
little
saying
bit.
they might hike rates next year. We're starting to say, is inflation staying a little too sticky? Is GDP a little too strong? Is that a threat for what otherwise seems to be a sector with, plenty of tailwinds?
So sorry, now I get your question, Kelly. Absolutely, it is. I don't know that that's going to play out, but that's a growflation scenario that you're rolling out there. I just trademarked that term.
I like that.
That would be, if the growth in this year
Machado
is a stimulus,
says
and I think we
meeting
lived
went well
through
with
this
Trump.
lesson 2 years ago. If we're going to stimulate our way out and we're going to have inflation again, the thing that cracked the tech market back in the first half of 22 was interest rates going from 0 to 100 when they jacked up. And what started a 3.5-year bull market in tech stocks and in the market, it started in the middle of 22 was when interest rates stopped going up and started fading down. My assumption is that they continue to fade down, and that's why I think it's a constructive backdrop for tech stocks. But look, if interest rates go the other way, yeah, it'll be negative for all growth assets out there. No question about it.
Yeah, and I wonder if we get to the point at all where I don't think we've priced anything like that in yet, but when you start to see an actual forecast, you think you probably should.
Yeah, but that's not our firm's forecast, and it's not my personal one for what that's worth. I just assume that interest rates are going down. I think just stable to lowering interest rates is good enough for the market, good enough for tech stocks. But having said all that, look, we are 3.5 years into a bull market. We've had valuations that are pretty robust and full now. So there's just greater openness or whatever. Exposure to external shocks, and those come from time to time. So I'm just a little bit more cautious going into the year. I'll stick with my Amazon call, but across the space, I just don't have a lot of great, cheap, dislocated, high-quality names now. Yeah. So I'm going to be very selective. My selection goes with Amazon.
I like what you said, that it's nothing. You think it's more of an external black swan, that could be an issue here, and maybe rate hikes would be that, but something to that effect. Mark, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
today.
Kelly.
Mark Mahaney with Evercore. Let's get some more reaction to the Commerce Secretary's remarks about the Federal Reserve and interest rates. Joining us now to talk more about Powell and the future of the Fed is Dennis Lockhart. He's the former Atlanta Fed president. It's great to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you, Kelly.
What would you like to address? There's a couple of different aspects here. One is that growth has been better than expected. Even though
I haven't heard somebody say rate hikes in a while.
What do you think is appropriate Fed policy for a moment like this? And what do you expect to play out now with both the DOJ subpoena into Powell and the way that the board and that nomination process is going to play out?
First, the economic situation is pretty strong growth in the fourth quarter, at least as indicated by some of the early calls. For example, the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta's GDP Now indicator.
Machado says meeting with Trump was good, but declines to say if she gave him a Nobel Peace Prize.
That's carried over.
That's pretty funny. Tomorrow is a crazy expiration. I guess technically, or no, I think January 20, the 1 week after is what the leaps are on, but it might be, there might be a lot of leaps there. But yeah, I did forget about that. There's a lot of times, there's a lot of things, like even I was looking at premiums. We made some plays before we left. I got rid of most of them, but there's a lot of value names that do expire in the next coming days. Ba-da-ba-ba-bop. I'm in a coat. Hey, happy holidays. My girl's ready to Netflix. Yeah, Chad. That's it. You got actually good news there. Lutnick, now you got China deal or China meeting in April. That's going to be something to look forward to. But other than then the Machado meeting, it didn't move oil. No other headlines. But otherwise, I think the biggest headline today was the healthcare stuff. And the little Trump infomercial. But yeah, I think you're just moving around now. The rest of this might be a Thursday effect. You got 18 or 17 more minutes till Power Hour. And then that's all. And then we're done, Habibi. And then we are done. Crowd is kind of getting hammered. I don't know what that is. Again, a lot of the cyber plays had the bad news from China the other day. So maybe that's part of it. But otherwise, you're just getting tech kind of selling off here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, crowd's a little bit bigger. Yeah, I did forget about the leaps. That makes a lot of sense. Because even then, I mean, I had plays from last year where I remember buying them, and I'm like, dude, they're so cheap. They have a year of time. But then I have some that expire in February. But yeah, like, there is some, but I think there is a lot in February as well, too. So we'll see. It has been a year, man. And then even if you were, I think if you were trading in, like, November, if you were buying leaps by the election, they probably expired on the January ones. And then if you were buying leaps on certain plays at the beginning of the year, I think it was around February. So, interesting. But yeah, tomorrow's probably, I mean, at this rate, every single expiration has gotten bigger and bigger. That is, I remember when you'd get it every so often, but at this rate lately, every expiration has been a big one. Saturday is 1 year from the Trump coin launch. Wow. It still has some value. It's not that was a fun time. Some of y'all got mad at me, but I mean, I had a great time. I think some of you did too, but you know, it depends. But yeah, it's fucking Melania. Fucking Melania. But yeah, was that a year ago? I thought it was around this time. I guess it was a little later. That beginning of last year was insane. That was every week you got a damn headline, you got a meeting, a new policy. Everything was going crazy. Here we are. Ba-da-ba-ba-bop. I'm in a call. Hassett, Trump wants an independent Fed. Fox Business News. Kevin, Apple's still going again. If Apple goes down, I mean, depending on the speed, it might cause that effect again. I'm surprised SPY's showing a little green, but watch out for that. Again, that's what started that first drop like an hour and a half ago. This time it's different from the curve steepening, 1980 to 2000. I mean, I'd like to think that it is, but it isn't. So, because usually when the curve steepens after the inversion, you usually get a problem. I mean, the only big difference is the amount of money in the system, and that also leads into the run it hot idea. You know, the fact that they want to run it hot might be because if the curve does start to steepen, it's going to come with some risks, but I think they're going to try to boom past it. That's why I was even saying a lot last year that it's like, do you really believe in AI? And I call it the big beautiful bill. I call it the big beautiful bet, because they gotta run it hot. Because now because usually when you cut rates, it's a bad thing. We'll go look anytime in history. Anytime we've cut rates, it's to precede a bigger drop. So I do think it's kind of crazy. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That coin destroyed you and you're homeless because of it? I mean, I'd say it could have been a contributing factor, but I wouldn't blame the coin as much. But I do think gambling could get destabilizing. Hence why I did want to make sure a lot of people are aware of that. But I'm sorry to hear. Unfortunately, you could do that with anything nowadays. That's the craziest part. You could say at least it had upside, but dude, I have seen the craziest shit in the last 6 years of the internet and the rise of gambling and trading. Every time we had there's a lot of 1,000%. We even started off the year with 4,000 and 9,000 ones last year. That's why I don't know. It's kind of weird how much we're at an all-time high right now, and I think we were last year too. But this high is kind of crazier. But then at the same time, I mean, last year, dude, beginning of last year, there was something new every day. But we'll see. I'm sure at one point we are going to get there. And then I don't doubt the midterm year. I think the midterm year is going to bring a lot of weird stuff. But yeah, and then even then, that leads to that yield curve question. Because I want to say it's different and there's money supply and all that stuff, and the only big difference is the money supply. But yeah, I've always been one of the people who I'm always going to believe in a hard landing, especially if they're cutting rates. And then, go look at Japan and everything else, because that's the other part. I talked about it this morning. If any of you are wondering when gold is going to drop, I think the big drop in gold will probably happen when there's a big drop in the Japanese yields. And when there's a big drop in the Japanese yields, that's probably going to change a lot of what we're dealing with right now. But then again, Japan has also done way better than expected. So I'm always a believer of the hard landing. So we're going to find out. That's good, man. If you did learn from it and you're actually back on your feet. I mean, I said this to people last year. It was kind of harsh, but I believe it. I don't think y'all believe me when I say this, but like whatever, if you're making a bad decision, like again, if gambling, like you might as well push it as hard as possible. You don't remember me telling you guys this? I said it a lot towards the end of last year too, where I'm saying you're just better off fucking going all in if you're going to keep doing risk and doing a bunch of dumb shit, because you'll hit the bottom or you're going to make it big really quick. And at least it's better to go down faster than to drag it on, like, because I've seen it. I think what's worse than fail fast or make it fast, dude, because I think what's worse is I've seen people, and obviously I don't want you to lose your money, and you shouldn't, and that's why I'm saying, like, you have a great example to the point of like you could get a good return, be involved, and you could take advantage of everything this world and market has and where it's going. But it's just like, dude, I think the worst ones I saw last year, it was the people who out of nowhere, they had long terms for 4 and 5 years, and something triggered in their mind and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna just try to make one real quick. And then again, it was just 4 or 5 years down the drain, just off of like a couple of bad moves, but trying to do something very different and outside of their comfort zone, and they kind of dragged it on in a bad way. It was really weird. It was very, very weird. But yeah, it's the weed versus hard drugs analogy. I forgot who was it who said that, but they pretty much, it goes along the lines of, at least go do heroin, because then at least you'll hit rock bottom faster than smoking weed and doing nothing. Yeah, John McAfee said that. Yeah, and it kind of makes sense. I know it sounds terrible, but I do agree you should fail fast so that you could get back on the right road faster. It's very simple, but if you do delay it and try to avoid what needs to be corrected or do it the right way and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, that slow death is usually harder to turn around, and it usually comes with a bigger cost. Because again, you fucking fail right now, you could bounce back very quickly and you could do it the right way, and then you'll never have to make that mistake again, especially if it left that type of reaction on you. But yeah, we'll see. Isn't that, well, remember, VIX seasonality is supposed to go up from here, so maybe. But I do think this whole run it hot theme, Russell versus NASDAQ, I think if you really want crazy volatility, I think we need policy. We need something external. The market has a lot priced into it. It has a lot figured out, and it knows that there is a lot coming. But if we want the real crazy moves, it's gonna probably be on the back of new information. But nothing has changed. Even from, I should have took a 4 week, no, I think I did. I took 3 weeks, but I hated it. You know that after week 2? But yeah, market's not too crazy, man. We need some new info. New info, otherwise you're gonna ride the run it hot train. Okay. Do you guys hear me? I'm bouncing on a medicine ball. I'm actually doing like a hip stretch with it. It's actually a lot of fun. So we're gonna ball today. Time to ball. It is. Well, last year was kind of crazy, but last year was all new information. That's why it was so crazy. That's why I was so fucking locked into it, man. I don't know if you guys realize. I enjoyed last year, but we got a really good head start. We were running it up from fucking October, November, and there was new information left and right. I still expect some this year. I don't think it'll compare to last year, but we do have stuff in store. But yeah, it's just a way different pace than last year for now. But that could change in a week. That could change in 2 weeks. So head on a swivel, be ready for it. And in the meantime, your long term gets to start another year at the most it's ever been. So that's always fun. And that's why I start the long term. I think a big thing for the long term, I don't know if those people are still here who are asking me about it, but I do think people need to focus on what they know. That's even part of the Philo. But, remember, if you could buy stocks that you know and use in your daily life, that's one of the best ways to find a good company. You're a customer. If you've been a customer too. That's why I keep talking about toothpaste, Procter & Gamble, Old Spice, Fiji. I've been buying Fiji deodorant since high school. You know that? Till this day. I can't believe they've had me as a customer that long. So if you use it, that's usually a good sign. You don't need to find the next big thing. Most of the time, the next big thing, it's already big. It's already popular. You already know about it. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. The Iran conflict, it could be, but that would only just affect oil. It would have to get really bad to where oil goes up and then it leads to like crazy inflation game. Because that's what happened with the Russia-Ukraine stuff. You had that war, and then they started making the most batshit insane policies surrounding oil, and then they mixed it in with the ESG, and then yeah, that was it. That was it. Couple things are dropping still now. Watch the low ticker. Apple is still dumping too. There's a couple of new names, and then Cyber too. Those names are still on the bottom. You were homeless in New York and wanted to move to San Diego? Hear me out. Can you do Ohio? Or what did we say the other day? Iowa? O and I? AEIOU? I really think if y'all have nothing holding you back, you're willing to do, if you're willing to damn drive across the country, if you're willing to sleep in your car, if you go to any of these cheap American places right now, I think you could be so much more effective. And I think you could get good job, good earnings, low taxes, and be able to build something and parlay it even into investments, and then probably even get a house, dude. You would be able to definitely play your cards right with it. That's what I would do. I kind of want to try it. You know that? I kind of want to make a video for a year. You guys think I could do it? What if I said this back in the day? I wanted to try this. Like, I'd want to go live in Ohio or Iowa, and give me, like, how much can I start with? Let me start with $1,000. I'll go work at the post office. I go work at Costco. You know what I'm saying? I get some dental. I get some health insurance. I say, welcome to Costco. I love you. And then I'm telling you, though, that is exactly what I would do. I think you'd have a really good shot. Intuit? I don't know, actually. Oh, well, Intuit, it was the FICO shit. But I don't know. It could be some of the New Year stuff. Oh, and then maybe all the tax cuts. That could be part of it. You can't do that. You need Cali or maybe Miami. All right, Hollywood. Damn. What the fuck? Man, are you dog? What do you mean you could only do Miami? I mean, listen, you could get lucky, man. In some of those places, there's just crazy people in those places. Yeah. I get. So how homeless were you with this pickiness? Did I ever tell you that story? One time, I was walking out of a store, and this homeless guy asked me for money. And I said, what do you want? He said, I want to buy water. And I was like, I'll go get you water. That's fine. And he said, okay. And then I come out with a case of water for him, like a full-ass case of like 30 bottles. And then you know what he says to me? He says, I don't like that brand. I said, bro. I said, dog, are you for real? And I looked at him dead ass, and I was like, are you serious, man? I was like, I'm not going back in. I said, here, bro. I said, just do whatever you want with it then, man. I said, I'm sorry. I wish I could help. Nah, yeah, I got him. I think it was just the store water, or it was like Arrowhead, but he was not feeling it. I was like, dude, I did not expect that. That's how I did. I didn't expect. He's like, nah, Miami only. What? Come on. You do it 6 months, do it for a year, and then you can move to Miami. That's what people do. You could start from anywhere. Don't mean you have to stay there. That's the problem I think people do. When they hear this type of idea, they think that they got to stay there forever. Like I said, you could build something there. You could even get a crib, but you don't have to literally stay there. It's so much easier to get off the ground if you could get a solid job, lower income, higher income with lower taxes. Your income goes a lot further, easier to travel, get a better quality of life, and then you're able to do whatever you need to do. And then you go to Miami. Spring water only. Yeah, man, water is water. Spy's going down though, new low. Are you gonna bet on it? What do you guys think? Do you think Thursday ends up red? Did we go red last Thursday? I don't know if we did. Because we're just going for no reason. How do you know when to add more to a dividend stock if you have no other options available to purchase? And then again, if you also have a lot of growth, if your portfolio keeps ballooning with growth, then you go for theirs. A Heli 5% pop. Not really. It moved up 5, or I don't know if that was throughout the day. If you're gonna say that, make sure like it's on 1 minute. But if it's already up like that, it's kind of a false signal, baby boy.
Yeah. So they moved up 5 throughout the day. That took 20, 30 minutes. That was one we talked about too as a value play. They bottomed out a little bit, but still down there. Have $1 trillion market caps become normalized? Oh yeah. I remember the first $1 trillion company. I think it was Amazon, or was it, or who was it? Google? But or Apple. No, what am I saying? But yeah, I remember $1 trillion was a ridiculous thing, and then we got to 2, and then 3, and then 4. Yeah, it's actually very common now. I forgot, like, dude, which other company? I know there's a lot. I think Eli Lilly even hit a fucking $1 trillion. So yeah, it's actually become a very, very common, and it wasn't up into that. This was like up until like 2018, dude. 2018, 2019, I think is when or 2016 or 2019. So I don't know if I'm mixing the 6 up or down, but yeah, it could be the first time we hit $1 trillion. No, I don't see a headline on Heli. They had the ICR conference yesterday. I think we actually have a play on that. Long term, what's your name? Let me save you a 10%. I'm long term, you know me. Oh no, VFC, that was the one. Tap, I know, it's not too crazy though. It just, remember, it didn't move out of that range for a while. So 10% doesn't seem like much, but it stayed in that range for a minute. But I would have liked more. I'm glad though, we got 3 deposits in it, I think. Because was it 2017? Damn. I guess it wasn't a 6 or a 9. But yeah, it was Apple and then Microsoft. But that took forever. And then even the next ones took forever. And then before you know it, we just started going crazy. And now fucking Eli Lilly, dude, at $1 trillion. I guess now you have trillionaires, so technically. Hello, you on by my electric rocket ship? Hello? What do you mean? South America. Oh yeah. Dog, have you seen? Listen, man. You know, I gave you a warning today. I said don't do drugs. Can I give you guys another warning? Would you like my unsolicited advice? You don't have to listen to me. You know, that's the beauty of it. You can mute me. You don't have to, you could rebel and do the opposite. But like, yo, man, I don't know who needs to hear this, but like, watch out for these hoes, okay? Yeah, I don't think Elon, I always said this, even when he was supporting Trump, I always told you, I don't think Elon was the greatest role model for the conservative figure. He got like 18 baby mamas. You know, like, Elon's kind of weird, dog. But I respect the guy a lot, man. Thank you for saving freedom of speech, Elon. It'd be a different world now. But did y'all see that his baby mama, the new one? Dog, he gets this girl pregnant. This girl was like, I think she was a liberal influencer. Then she turns into a conservative influencer. And then Elon gets her pregnant. And then this goes crazy. And so yeah, bro, and it's a good example on how women will do a lot of things to spite you, but only the bad women. There's a lot of good women out there, so that's why just don't get these social media chicks pregnant, okay? So watch out, man, watch out. If you haven't seen it, otherwise this sounds weird, but you gotta go look it up. You gotta go look it up. That, bro, it's terrible. I was shocked. That girl is like, she rejected even money. Elon offered to pay her like millions of dollars to just chill out. And she said, no, I want you to do this. I don't even know what she wanted, bro. But then I was like, Elon, how'd you fall for that? Like, Elon, like, come on. How you get $1 trillion pay package and fall for the oldest trick in the book, Elon? That don't even make sense. It don't even make any sense. And she wasn't even cute. Elon be doing this all the damn time, bro. Man. What did Charlie Munger say? Man, even Charlie Munger had like 18 baby mamas too. They all do, man. They all do. Georgieva, Ukraine has not made decision on linking currency more to euro than dollar. Yeah, man. The people will flip quick, dog. They'll flip quick, man. Doesn't Elon does the genetics. I think he had a normal relationship in the beginning, but he did like genetically modify them in the beginning. I thought everybody knew that. You know, and then he genetically modified his hairline too. But still, Elon. Oh yeah, God bless America. I'm a conservative now. Now that I found out what's happening. I like Elon though. I do. He has a special place. Like, you know, he's a very innovative guy. At least he's not a pussy. Oh, forgive me. You know, dude, you guys remember when you guys wanted to kill him over Twitter? No? Okay. Yeah, I personally, like, I would never walk out to any event with a chainsaw, but I rest my case. You know, a very interesting guy. The space stocks all just going up. There was Italy, Japan news earlier, but that's it. You know me. Financials have been dropping to like Visa, MasterCard, Robinhood. And the banks are doing good. Coinbase even dumping now. Bitcoin was doing good, but then that flipped. Very chill day. It sucks. It could have been more. But then again, there wasn't much in the calendar on the morning. Just all those chip stocks. They sapped up all the money. And Walmart's dumping. Womp, womp, womp. I'ma buy you a long time. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'ma take it home with me. You'll see me on the news. You'll be the most famous homeless person in San Diego. Do it. Use your mind, brother. If you choose the mind and let your mind serve you, you could create a lot of good. I think for most people, the only thing holding them back for whatever they want and whatever they truly desire is their mind. I'm telling you, I think we are aliens. Do you guys understand that? Like I'm telling you, I believe that our brains are hardware. I believe our brains are technologically advanced. I believe you have cold fusion in your brain. You realize that? You got signals. Your brain is so powerful. So I think you could do anything in this life as long as you like genuinely unlock your mind and use it to serve you. And that's why I hope you go through these, you know, different learning lessons. Then they teach you how to make sure you do that. Race? Yeah, but like Ferrari, I remember when Ferrari was like a $40 stock, dude. Yeah, like that was in 2017, even 2018, 2019, but Ferraris have came up a lot during everything, but they're starting to get clapped. I don't know if you guys knew that. But like a lot of like that, what was it, the SF90? I think the SF90, those are going for like 600-700K, and now they've fucking plummeted to like 300. But yeah, I would never pay that much for Ferrari stock. Because car companies don't really do good like that. Even though Ferrari's kind of a prestigious brand, I mean, I think a return to the mean on this one might be a better idea to consider it, but it would have to be a lot lower for me to think about that. Hey, yo, Joe, I know Joe Dreams. Is he the guy who raps in Little Italy and then started getting into like political beef and they would try to kick him out? I fuck with Joe Dreams. Yeah, bro. Let's see. You guys know what I'm checking right now, right? I'm a long term with me. I'm a long term, you a drank. Ooh, ooh. If you keep your wisdom teeth. Yeah, why do they want our wisdom teeth? I still have mine, because I'm just terrified. Not because I think I'll be dumb, but because, like, dog. I've heard people tell me their stories of like wisdom teeth recovery, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm really good. I don't need all that. Ooh! Talk! Chatadonia, there is 1,000 Lamborghinis for sale right now. That's insane. Holy fuck. You guys don't remember when I was showing, and I told you, the Lambo index, bro, it was 300, 280. Oh, that's disgusting. That's a lot of Lamborghinis for sale around the United States. Habibi. Wow. Yeah, dude. The Lambo, like I told you, I remember when there was only 300, the price of all of them were insane. But yeah, once the fucking supply shoots up, remember, they're all just nice toasters. The things some of these people do to these cars. Some of these cars look insane. Unless they have to. That's what they said. They said I didn't need to get mine pulled. It didn't fuck up too much. But then again, I did go to the dentist once. And apparently I got mad nerves running through my face. That tripped me out. I saw it. Did I ever show you that as the x-ray? Zelensky says Ukraine has never been and will never be a barrier to peace. And new low on the day. So yeah, my teeth nerves, like the nerves in my teeth, they run through my sinus. That's why, like, when I get sneezy and shit, I get sneezy. That's what the dentist tried to tell me. Then he said, give me your teeth. Give me your teeth. I said, I'll think about it. I still have my teeth. I haven't given him my teeth. Well, and we're just not, I mean, interest rates are high, and you're not going through the same lack of goods supply chain problems. That's why Lambos, remember, Lambos are all going for above value when there's only a couple hundred of them for sale. But now, you know, once supply goes up, just like houses, anything really, that's why the more useful it is, the better. But when supply goes up, the prices do come down.
AI. Yeah, I did. I'm gonna do it. You guys don't know that? One of these days, I'm gonna go live, and you're gonna see my face. But it's just gonna be me using one of those like deep fake AI things that turn you into somebody else. So yeah, you guys wanted a face reveal. I lasted until the AI wave. Soon I'll be able to do it. You know that? So like I'll be able to be you. You could have a person. It'll be me, but you'll never see me. I don't know what character I'm gonna be. I'll be a new character every day. But yeah, you could do it. Where is it? Tim showed me one years ago. But like, yeah, it was much harder to do. But now they're like, now they're getting even better. So like it's getting like almost flawless. The first ones that came out like a year or two ago, you had to like really code it and it would like kind of be glitchy. Now they got these ones. Look at this. Yeah. So look, that's the person, and you could connect it to a camera, but then it'll turn you into somebody else. Y'all don't feel. You realize how crazy that is? For some reason, it's a bunch of guys all being girls. Look at that, yeah, that one. See that? Look, you could be anybody. Be careful though. Some of you might end up chopping your dick off. I'm just saying, it's a risk. Am I ugly? Yes, extremely. But thank God I made enough money in time. Because you know, and I got a great personality. That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. That's why I feel bad, because I've never had any difficulty past high school. But y'all, they brainwashed all of y'all. You guys don't realize ugly men rule the world. So I think some of you got to embrace it a little bit. Even you say Janet Yellen too? Oh, you want me to be Janet Yellen? Anime. I don't know which ones those people are using, but there is better ones coming out. Once I could find one seamless, I'm gonna do it. I'll go live. So then that way you guys can watch me as I stream. But then when I go outside, no one's gonna. Yeah, man, y'all, I've already been stalked without ever showing anything. Do you realize how grateful I am for the decisions I've made? Are y'all kidding me, bro? You don't think that was weird? Like, I knew people were weird, but I was like, all I did was stalks. Like, I ain't rug pull nobody. I ain't do nothing shady. More people have made money off of me than not. And I got death threats. I've been stalked. They showed up to rental properties. Psh, that's crazy, bro. So yeah, I look forward to that. That's great. You guys will be able to see me. You'll see me in my room. I see. You want me to use my face and be confident, even if I'm a little ugly? Well, thank you. But I think I might just become a Viking. I'll be a Viking, or I'll be Joe Biden. I'll do a girl for one day, but you gotta be careful. It's cool. Who was it? Somebody was asking. Did I tell you that I don't know if he's here right now. But one time I parked the Cybertruck downtown and I had to get in it. I think LT was gonna pick it up and he couldn't, and I didn't want it to get towed. So I went to go pick it up, and bro, I get in the car and some dude just starts knocking on the door. He's going, and I'm like, yo, chill, bro. Chill. He's like, yo, are you Josh? And the way he walked up, I was like, I'm about to die right now. He's going to shoot me. But then he was really chill. But I had to go. I had to follow my pops because my dad was there and he already left. I didn't want him to get lost. You know why? Dog, because when we were in downtown once, I was in downtown with my dad. Mind you, he's lived in San Diego for most of the time he's been in America. And he parked his car, right? And I'm like, where did you park your car? J Street. Okay. This guy had me driving up and down with him for maybe like 30 minutes. Up and down J Street, bro. We couldn't find his car. He didn't know where he parked it, right? Yeah. So about like 45 minutes in, I just said, let me just start looking around, bro. And we start like driving all over. Well, come to find out, he parked it on G Street. He goes, oh yeah, G Street, J. The G's and the J's, dog. So he's not good in downtown. He's really not good in downtown. So I had to, and that day I was like, oh shit, I can't let him get out of my sight now. Because he'd be like, I'm on J Street, a G Street. Very close, but it was terrible, dude. I was like, how do you lose your car parking it? He ain't even old like that, bro. He don't even like, that was just some fob shit, bro. That was just some fob shit. Like fully just G, a J, smoothie. Like, this is bullshit. You're ugly with no money, is that bad? No, just use your face and be confident. It's okay if you're a little ugly. You'll be fine. You know, as long as you're confident, you know, use what you got in this life, you'll be good. So, don't even worry about it. But I would get a long term. You know, or you could, because I was going to say, most people say you can't fix the ugly, but nowadays they be look maxing and shit. So yeah, but you could fix the long term. So isn't that fun? The Disneyland. H Street, J Street. I know, man. I know. It was a very fob moment. You have no idea, bro. You have no idea. It's funny because my girl's, she's got to see all these fob moments with my dad. She loves it. She thinks I'm like, man, I can't believe it. She didn't, like, she enjoys it thoroughly. My dad is hilarious. You know, my mom's a little bit more like American. I don't know. My mom's not as much of a fob anymore. I don't know why. She hasn't done no fobby shit in a long time. My dad is still like, he just got here. Like, I'm telling you. Bro, you got no idea. But I tell you, man, but he been hanging out with the conservatives. They got him buying shotguns. They got you buying gold and silver. Bro, my dad likes Fords now. You know that? You understand? My dad wants to get a fucking Ford, a truck. I said, why don't you get a Tacoma? Why don't you get a Toyota? He said, no. I think my dad thinks he's white now. I don't know what y'all did to him. I think because after the gold went up, and after you got him going to all the churches and all that shit, dog, I'm like, man, he got a shotgun. You know that? You know, I bought a gun when I was 18, and I explained it to my parents, and they got so mad at me. You know that? When I was in college, and I got a gun, and I was, because again, you could get a shotgun at 18, handgun at 21, and I was explaining them to this when I was getting my gun, and I remember they got so mad at me for buying a firearm. And then fucking come to find out, this guy now, he's like, no, do you know Second Amendment? I'm like, oh, fuck, man. No, you need to protect yourself. You need to, yes, oh, no, yes, you know. And gold is real money. I'm like, damn it. Your dad stopped speaking to you for 3 days. Yeah, bro. My parents were pissed. They were very, very pissed. Now, come to find, now you got a fucking pump. This is crazy, man. He sounds hilarious. He's funny. He's very motivational too. But like, it sucks because some of y'all just too soft now. Because like, he'll tell you, if I knew how to speak English like you, what do you mean you can't do nothing? So yeah, I don't know. That was a little bit more Persian. I like the Persian accents. But he sounds like he's close to it. He's close to it. The disciples did have swords, yeah. I told you that. When I showed my mom the Christmas song that Uncle made, she was like, haram. She said, why so much? Why do you curse? Why do you have that there? I said, I didn't do that, Mom. That's your brother. She said, but why did you let it happen there? Why cursing? Why would you say that? Why would you hope a bad thing? My dad was like, well, do you know how David talked about his enemies? Have you read the Psalms? I said, said, wow, the duality. I've been to the gun range with my dad, yeah. Dude, he's a full-blown, like, he loves his guns now. It's so weird. I would have never, when I was in college and you told me this, I was like, I would have never believed it. The guy is like, nah, bro, he's strapped. Like, like fully. So, yeah, man. Good luck. I can't believe he abandoned Toyotas like that, though. That's fucking heresy. I never really thought it. Has he seen a Draco before? No, I don't think so. I don't think he doesn't like he likes shotguns and he likes like pistols. Like, he don't like revolvers and shit, but like, nah, he's very, very old school in an odd way. Haram. Your dad took you to get your first gun? Wow. You're lucky, man. See, I got excommunicated from the church. I almost talked my mom into it. At one point, we had a talk, and I was trying to get her to come to the range. Because I was like, you just need to know how to use it. She said, no. Why would I need that? I have Jesus. I'm like, I know, just in case, Mom. Just in case. You don't got no shipping, handling. I'm like, you should know how to use it. I think everybody should know how to use one. Some guns go up in value, but most of the time they only like react to when they're like gun control. The stocks used to be like Smith & Wesson used to be way more responsive to domestic conflicts. Damn, VIX on the high. Holy fuck. Maybe that VIX seasonality's kicking, dog. It was higher yesterday? Huh? Bought a gun and you felt you were stepping away from your trust in God? Damn. Now I feel fucked up. I was like, I'm an American. Woo! I was so hyped. I did not have any second thoughts. I feel bad. No, but then I was 18, bro. I was young. I was still rebellious. You know, that was the first time I got to be on my own. So I wanted a gun. But yeah, that's kind of nuts. Kind of good thought perspective though. My mom still, my mom sees the crazy world. That's why we had a conversation. I almost got her. She might do it one day. But yeah. You never bought one, but you have a shotgun from your parents, or do I have to report you to the ATF? What do you? So I never bought one, sir. Yeah, you guys are lucky. You got to inherit one. That's insane. And one from your boss? What? I've never been gifted a gun. I've sold a gun to a cop. I had a cop friend of mine. He wanted a gun for his like duty. You know that they buy some of them buy their own guns, or if they want certain things. I was like, okay. And then yeah, I didn't know you could do that. But he bought my gun, and I gave him a rifle. I was like, dope. But no, they did. They have California in 2026. They have banned Glocks. You can't buy a Glock in Cali anymore. 18. No, I was in Arizona. Arizona was super. You could open carry in Arizona. That's where I went to college. Party. But yeah, you can't buy a Glock in California now, 2026. Oh, and then too, do you guys know about the speeding laws? All of you in California, you better be careful going above like 90 miles an hour. Because now they have like super speeder laws where even if you don't have a ticket, if you've never gotten a ticket, you could still get points on your record, and it's way harsher. And then if you're like above 100, you're fucked. They have a really harsh new speeding law. And then they have planes over construction zones. And then if you do that, you get points on your record right away. Yeah, bro, there's a lot of new laws in 2026. Mm-hmm. Clapton doing 120 by an unmarked Mustang? That's crazy. I don't race people. You know how many times I've had a Mustang fucking ride my ass, and I'm like, dude, I just go into the next lane and I just drive really slow. Like, get the fuck away from me, bro. Then the Kias, dog, the Kias run the world here. The Kias in Cali, bro, y'all better watch out. Kias and Altimas. You're not about that life. No, you thought he meant egged? No. Egged him on. Yeah, because you could put the switch on it, yeah. It hasn't been approved? I thought it is. I thought it was 2026 it comes into play. But yeah, it's any gun that could have a switch. So it's Glock is the primary one, but any type of gun you could like modify, even if it's semi-automatic, they're fully banned now. Isn't that entrapment? No. No one made you go 120 miles an hour. Entrapment. I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm traveling. I'm not driving. I'm traveling. There's a big difference. Entrapment. Nah, man. Y'all just... I don't know. See, but then it's like... Bro, you mean to tell me I could get in trouble for driving my car, but then if I take a baseball bat to a law enforcement vehicle in Minneapolis, I don't get in trouble? I'm really confused here. That's why it's so mind-blowing, because I feel like there's just a different generation of people who would never in their life be like, yo, I'm gonna run up to law enforcement, fuck with them, and not get fucked up. Do you understand? Hey, this has nothing to do with race, okay? I really hope you understand that, because everywhere in my life growing up, there was a time where, like, yeah, they would just fucking rock you, dude. It just did not end well. You know how many episodes of Cops I've watched? Real life places on location. Like, dog, you have no idea, man. That's why I'm like, what do you mean? You gonna arrest me for going 100 miles an hour, but if I fucking pepper spray an ICE agent, I'm good? What? Real life PD live on location. You got the fucking fat cameraman following, all fucking moving sideways and shit. Dog, I've seen the craziest. No, I don't. It's mine. Maybe I'm a little jealous, because I'm like, what do you mean? What are you guys doing? I get it. I thought this was all in the name of the social contract. I thought there would... This is bullshit. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for? Dog, that was hit TV back in the day. All right, man. All we've been doing is just slowly dumping. VIX is going up, but Russell's still winning. And none of this has been honest. You've had more good news actually come out here with the Taiwan shit, but yeah, man, this is just the big tech slow burn. We'll get ready for Friday, big expiration. Am I happy with the raids? Yeah, man, I watch families get torn apart and then people get deported sometimes for no reason. I'm like, fuck yeah. What do you think I am, Obama? Calm down. I think both sides can do a lot to encourage public trust that the situation is accurate, okay? So I think, maybe they wouldn't show up with guns if homeboy wasn't pepper spraying and baseball bats and everything else, man. I think it goes both ways. It's a very weird time. So I like the concept of like, hey, this guy has been convicted of a triple homicide. Maybe he has a deportation order from 5 years ago. We should go get him. I would support that. You go and take away a lady who really has not done anything, and then it's in a very, following DoorDash drivers and shit, I'm not really a fan of. But at the same time, I do think that burning cop cars and stealing guns and getting in people's ways without kind of having any judicial idea of who or what they have done is kind of disruptive. And then when one side raises the temperature, now the other side brings guns. And then when the other side steals guns, what do you think is going to happen next? So, yeah, I wouldn't say, like I said, I'm not Obama, man. I'm not real ecstatic about what's happening in some places, but at the same time, I do not support the whole abolish ICE idea. I think it's batshit insane. So, yeah. Yo, GLPI, gaming and leisure properties down 2.8. Glippy. charter. I've considered it. I got to look at the chart, but I remember we were talking about some of those telecom. I just hate telecom as of late. I really like T-Mobile just because they've been the only telecom really growing, but maybe with some of this AI stuff, they might be there. I have considered American Towers at one point. I have experience as a virtual border guard. I could comment on this. I remember that game was interesting, man. That's what started all of this. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. U.S. envoy. U.S. stands by the brave people of Iran. Your 3 Christmas trees are up on display. Wow. I'm jealous. I wanted mine up, dog. That's it. My girl came over one day and she's like, you're taking it down. I'm like, why? She's like, because you'll leave it up till June. I'm like, so I'll get the most value for it. I like Christmas trees. I don't care what time of year it is. I think we should make that a year-round thing. Just having a decorated Christmas tree in your house. I'm a real big fan of it. A tender offer. It's what it is. It's an offer, but it's not binding, and it's not it's a potential offer. It's kind of like when someone offers for a home. So you could, even if you agree to it, though, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. You would need approval from everybody else. It's like an initial offer. No, I have a fake one. I stopped buying real trees after it cost me fucking $500. Dog. I think that was 2022. I bought a real tree, bro, after shipping, the flocking and all that. They were like $499. I'm like, what? For a tree? So then I got one for like, I think $100, $199. I had that shit for like 3 years. It's beautiful. I have like 1,000 LEDs on it, bro. That shit, it glimmers. It hits, dog. It hits. But yeah, I like it. Yeah, bro. I've seen people pay $1,000 for a Christmas tree. Hey, yo, Kimberly Clark is tweaking out. What's up with that, Kimberly? You know Kimberly, what was her name? That was my first crush from Saved by the Bell. Wasn't her name Kimberly? Or no, Kelly Kapowski. Never mind. Scratch that. Who's Kimberly? Oh, you got them nice Costco outside lights? I know, my neighbors have that. They keep them up all year. And they're dope, but they're expensive, and like you still got to install them. Nah, they got those like, they got ballin' ass Costco lights, and then you like, they look really good. They actually look amazing. But yeah, you gotta really, it's a lot of work. No, Kelly Kapowski. You guys know Kelly Kapowski? I'm sad I forgot her name. Trees hella on sale now. They are. If you ever want to buy Christmas stuff, you buy it after Christmas. It's sickening how cheap they sell it. Everything. Because they don't want to store it. That one's still going, man. I don't know. Kimberly Clark, there's no news. Said they donated 15 million diapers in 15 days of National Diaper Bank 15th anniversary. It's dope. Huggies. Oh, Topanga, Boy Meets World. That was a good show. Mr. Feeney. A 1 year update? I'll take a look, man. Shout out to long term. Best decision ever, man. Thank you, Josh and Chattadonia. Cheers to that, brother. That's it, man. The only bad side of the long term, it's slow. But if you make it through the slow part, it's glorious. It's glorious, man. I look forward to more and more years of it, man. And I want to see more cribs. And just, that's all, man. You ain't got to do anything crazy. Just little by little, bro. And then before you know it, because I can't believe it, man. We got $30,000 and that's a $200-300 a month account. Even damn Colt sister. It's nuts, man. Is it worth adding recessed lights in your home? If you could do it cheap. That's what I did on that flip. The one in San Francisco, because it was like an older house, but like it really helps with resale value. And like I had a kid do it cheap. Like it was the kid who did it. He was young. He was a hustler, man. But I added like 15 lights and turned all the lights. That was one of the bigger costs, but it was affordable. But people really like it nowadays. There's certain things nowadays like kitchen, recessed lighting, little things like that, where if you modernize them, make them nice enough, people will really, really fuck with it. Great things are gonna happen this year. Amen, brother. Shout out to my God. I feel it's gonna be a great year. And even then, it's what 1 year leads to, and 1 year leading to the next. I mean, we're here because of last year, and here because the year before that. So, that's why. Don't ever, what do they say? People overestimate what they could do in a year, but then they underestimate what they could do in 10. So that's why you just get in the right direction, man. I'm telling you, the compass. And I don't know. Do y'all think I'm just saying this shit? Like, do you realize that I'm telling you, all you have to do this year is avoid stupid. That's it. That's it. It's so easy. You got to figure it out. You got to obsess over it. But I'm telling you, you avoid the stupid and you get into a good habit of that, it's really you're going to watch something extraordinary happen. But, if you get stupid trying to chase extraordinary, this is going to backfire. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking nuts. I love it, man. The inverse. That's what I was thinking about over the break. That's why I came back to tell y'all. I couldn't shake it, man. And I'm the inverse everything. I've heard this stuff my whole life. That's why it's funny how it hits me differently at different times. But, especially seeing the climate, how everybody is, the world, the opportunity. It's just like, oh my gosh, they all work. Even how we've done it with the long term. A lot of this is just age-old wisdom, man. Nothing that we do here is new. That's why I'm giving you the same answers. I could go, it's been the same exact thing. It came before me. It's all this stuff, bro. That's why, you could really understand what will survive the test of time. You get enough time under your belt to understand how time could either betray you or help you. You're going to start to see this. So if the sooner you realize this, the better. You live in a world where they're bombarding you with so many things, but extraordinary is going to be a result of avoiding stupid, not by chasing it. I'm still chilling at the bottom. I think we're going to still close green. But yeah, 10-minute rig, man. So Rapparoony, Chattadoony. Rapparoony. Seeing there's nothing else going crazy. All these moves, man, very dry. And crypto dumped. Downgrade. A lot of, actually, it could be analysts. I see a lot of upgrades and downgrades here. TSM was the main thing. The banks killed it.
Remember, jobless claims was fine. Oil chilled with Iran. The Taiwan trade stuff. That Ford news, that moved around a little bit. Yeah, but chill, bro. $1 billion to the sell side. Holy shit. Well, remember, tomorrow is going to be a big expiration, and I like what Homeboy said about the leaps. I kind of agree with it. I think you're going to get maybe post expiration, it might get a little bit more juicy, and then you're going to run out of time for that whole BCOM index on the silver and gold stuff. Still think that's part of it. I still think you got to watch what happens overseas and a couple of other things, but for the most part, man, I think we got a nice slow start with a couple of all-time highs into the first week. We'll wrap up Friday, get a long weekend, and God bless America. But you only got 8 minutes, man, so I'd wrap up your plays. I don't know. You're either going to get a big expiration day tomorrow, or it'll be bigger after expiration, which is something we've also seen. Don't worry, we'll be here in the morning, friends. We will be here in the mornings, and then we'll see where it takes us. Is there deadlines on upgrades or downgrades? No, sometimes they go in the same day, but no, there's no real deadline. They could go whenever they want, really. Ideally, they try to go at least once a quarter, but usually when a stock moves enough or something happens in the industry, they will adjust, but there's no real like timing or schedule around it. That's why when it happens, you kind of see dramatic reactions in stocks. It chills out. I mean, some years more than others, and depending on the stock and where it's at, analysts, they respond a lot more, a lot stronger to it. So, not anything crazy. Seeing European comments. That's it, man. We're done. Oh, GFS on the low. And then Intel finally had a red day. Barely. We'll take it, man. Let it cool down. And then earnings next week, too. That's something to think about. Whether you want to go pre or post expiration. That's the other part of it. You don't get as many tomorrow. It's still just going to be financials. But yeah, man. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see the long term. Long term at close. Oh! Down 47 bucks. So not bad. I think isn't it crazy though? It's catching up, man. So after next month, it should be around the same size as the quote-unquote small account. Damn. Small account moved harder, bro. But yeah, you're down 100 on that today. But not bad. Pretty solid year-to-date change, though. I'll take it. That's kind of... What the fuck? I guess it's growing. So that's why you've now grown to the size where, theoretically, this is almost that's 60% of our yearly deposit. Just off of the first 14 days. So I can't wait to see it, man. And that's why too, bro, you guys grind it. I'm telling you, that same account that you just saw, it spent 2 years not getting above $10,000. You understand? Same exact account. That account has not been touched. $200 a month, $220, $240, $260, $280, $300. You see what I'm saying?
So that's why I'm saying just get past that first little window. Just keep setting good goals. The more you could save, the better. You just can't touch it. And you allow it to be there, and then that's the whole idea. Even then, your income should probably go up in life, but even if it didn't, you're going to watch that thing move at a pace that, you know, it's going to work faster than you could ever do it, and you got to build it. So that's kind of nuts. That's actually very surprising. So let's see. The small account is bigger than the small account. It's almost there. Give it a little bit and it'll get there. That's what I'm saying. After next month's deposit, the rebuild account on the big one should be around the same size now, which is crazy that it took, at least 8 months to do that? So kind of nuts. For the first investment, if you could only pick one, what would be the smartest move? A dump truck or a house? I do uno plus 4. Why I only got to pick one? The only thing you should only pick one of is God and your girl. Okay? Everything else, I don't think you should ever be limited by only I got to. So why not both? But I do like, you know how I feel about real estate. If you have the money to buy a house, it's great. I would probably do that, but at the same time, I don't know your ability with the dump truck. Like if you genuinely could turn that into $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year business, that's another opportunity. But then again, too, I don't know if you've heard the horror stories, not necessarily of dump trucks, but like people taking on businesses that they've never done. It may seem profitable, but if you could burn a lot of money doing something in that nature too. So finding a way to explore both, a business and a property. I mean, if we're talking big enough money, or again, access to the credit, you might have more options than you think. Well, real estate is safer and you have big leverage too. But same thing with real estate. If you act like a jackass in real estate, that could turn into a nightmare. So it goes both ways. All right, Chad. Well, Rapper-Rooney, very, very interesting close, man. What a day. The drop wasn't even exciting, man. My goodness. But you only have 1 minute. Go, 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 go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to wrap it up. Bring it home. Finalize those plays. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Shares, options, futures, it doesn't matter. You have an expiration tomorrow. One more day, and then a long weekend, and then we'll see if we get any more policy or not. You'll get a couple of earnings, and then after this week's a lot more earnings, but halfway through January, baby, run it hot. You know the theme. Russell versus NASDAQ. You know the theme, baby. Bring it home. Wrap it up. You should drop your GG now. I'll see your GG. You are unadjusted, a EBITDA, a non-GAAP GG, dog. Bring it home. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ding 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 ding. Horna Tatadonia. Oh, happy Friday, Junior. We did it, we made it. Are you kidding me? 7 hours in the books, 14 days, 15 days into the new year. You made it to the bell. I hope you get it through the long term, man. Get through, you push through. Let it grow. It'll start working for you, baby. Let me get a GG, and God bless you, Chad. It don't matter if you made money or lost money. All that matters is you learned something. And you shouldn't, man. You had less opportunities to lose. Avoid stupid. Give me some good reasons, baby. A good game, and God bless. For real, baby. Thank you. All the real ones. All of y'all, man, all living in it. Living like a beacon. You know that? We could see it. I could see it in the long term. You actually took some steps on your own. This don't sound like bullshit. It sound like real life. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, baby. Thank you for not getting banned. Thank you for not being annoying. You know that? I don't know if I need to. Thank you for not trying to mace me. You know that? They maced law enforcement agents. Thank you for not stealing my weapons. What? Why do you have weapons? I know, I do though. I don't. Good game, baby. I see you too, members, non-members. Everybody locked in. Let's go, baby. Let's have a good Friday. And happy Friday, Junior. I need me the rock. You won't see me a lot. Monday through Friday, you need me, let's talk. Am I mad or just passionate?
Long term.
Are you fam or just acting it?
Am I mad or just passionate? Are you fam or just
have
acting?
A good one, Chad.
You know, I
gotta ball up today.
But I always keep passing
you know what I'm saying?
Gotta keep it in the roto. We are not the same, like rice isn't risotto. All the real ones know it's always no photos. If the market crash, stop backing, I'm the go-to. Just because you know me,
you better appreciate it while you can.
Talk, stop,
you know what I'm saying?
Stop, I am really
it's gonna feel slow until it's not.
We ain't really friends.
Don't let it make you go to sleep. Man, you better lock in, son. You understand? Head on a swivel. When it arrives, it's gonna arrive. It'll be so obvious. Do they feel me? I hope they feel me, dog.
And I put it to another crib. That's a formula I did my whole life. My bro knew I was quick, so he taught me how to fight. Said you being followed if they take 3 rice. If they don't want your chain, then they want your life. So I go and share both of those. If you kill me or you rob me, either way the money overflows. All about $1, you can tell my heart is really cold. Something in my head, cause my soul is getting really old. Don't let a gamble tie your mind up. Nah, don't let a bitch fuck your life up. It's true, nothing good happens at the night, bro. Money is fun, son, I hope you made your mind up. Tell me who the line up, show me where you find her. You can have a rollie, it don't matter when your time up. Handed him a Bible when he asked for a light, bro. We are not the same, like a lion's not a tiger. The difference is the difference. Ask my old bitches shit, ask my new bitch. Ask the YouTube and the Twitch. From the hills to the trench, in the game to the bench. The difference make the man.
What do you guys think of it? I'll let you hear this one. You haven't heard this one in a while. What do you think? Is it too loud or do you like it? I don't know how it's gonna sound to you.
I said let's go. Oh baby, come on, how you gonna do this shit right now? I told you don't shoot nobody. The first thing you do when we walk this motherfucker is shoot somebody. Cause that's what I do. I kill motherfuckers, you know that?
Praise God. You don't love my God, but that's the only thing that's stopping me. I only know his laws, I do not obey monopolies. Point them to the Father, I do not care if you copy me. But if you hurt the little ones, then we got a problem, G. Problem is, it's not with me. Rewind this track back, then maybe y'all gon' see. Think I'm wasting energy? Dog, I'm saving destiny. I'd say give it a rest, but they wicked, dog, that's the thing. Jealousy ain't take you far, and that's the truth, it's not a bar. Got a lot to prove, it's not about you, it's more about you and God. I let this shit go on and on, I'll say his name all day, and when I'm done, I'll go and make a sign. Sunny side, or you get scrambled how you want the morning. How you use your time is more about what you do with boredom. Maybe they lie, but summertime, not when you get the harvest. Done this many times, and every time I thank the Father. Told me not to say his name, I only said it harder. They at the barber shop, asking if I know a barber. That's the type I never like, even in bikini bottoms. Say you want a better life, then I should see you often. Yup. I should see you never. Every day you getting better. Family first and get the cheddar. Got above all, in case you acting first, don't make me stutter. What the long term do has everything to do with better. That's fashionable, let's keep it all objective. Are you an animal? Keep on acting reckless. I'm direct, cause it's literally direction. We got rich, literally off instructions. They're critics, but never done construction. Okay, I'm ridiculous, but come on, that was funny. Awareness getting scary and I'm variously funny. Or the money is my cunning, but I had it for it's coming. Huh? I just gave you that to study. Wake up in the money, cannot shape me or disrupt me. Praying in my study, why you think I'm always lucky? Utilize my mind for these rhymes and becoming. Destiny is time and the time is always running. Clock ain't asking for a break, so do not be a dummy. You didn't bring a plate, I do not believe you're hungry. Just because you're late, that doesn't mean you'll rush me. A lot of people hate and a lot have tried to shush me. That's great, I'll demonstrate. My mouth is still running. I'm telling you and showing you. The hate is doing nothing. Credibility and Charlie dead. There is no discussion. You can say the right words, we will not trust them. Truly is a turning point. Turn from the destruction. I don't think they're clocking it. Behavior is disgusting. Lord, give me faith. We already tried to love them.
Good game, baby. Good game. All right, man. I'm out. I gotta ball up. I gotta hydrate. I gotta put on my baby powder. I'm scared again, bro. You know that? I want to start wearing baby powder. You know that? Because, like, I didn't want to guard him. And now I'm like, wait a minute. I could get me an advantage over here. I might start wearing baby powder to trade. But, nah, y'all can't smell. The market maker can't spell it. I don't know. Bro, and I thought, you know how fucked up it is? Because someone said it. They're like, talc is not baby powder. And I was like, what, in the Johnson & Johnson? You know? Because I was thinking about how fucked up that is. I was like, I thought talc and baby powder, yeah, and there you go. And that's how you got Kenview. That is how you got Kenview. Ain't that something? So, Chad, God bless you all, man. I hope you had a good day. I hope you're ready for more days. May God be willing and may you be blessed. And, yeah, man, just go through the long term, bro. And like I said, I just said it, though. You better not. I don't care how slow it is, bro. You better be ready. You better, because when it's not slow, it's gonna be so obvious. You know that, right? Just like last year. So let's just be ready for it. Do not get lulled to sleep. Just point in the direction. Yeah, you don't trip. Don't let the clock fool you. You know, don't get hypnotized, my brother, by fast or slow. You just be in the game. Just be in the game. Avoid the stupidity. And go. Did y'all read it? Did you read Richest Man in Babylon yet? That's for the youngins who ain't do it yet. If you haven't, I mean, you got a long weekend. If you want, when I read it, I was 18 years old, I think, in a sauna. That was by day 2. By day 2, I remember going into a sauna with Richest Man in Babylon, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget. They don't feel me, bro. Have a good day. Have a good day. May the Lord be with you. Go read the books. Richest Man in Babylon, Proverbs, New Living Translation, and The Strangest Secret in the World. And don't forget why we're here. Why we keep going. Why that faith, hope, and love ain't ever going out of style. Why you got to avoid stupidity and you'll get greatness. You don't need to chase greatness and be stupid about it. And just go, man, he's with you. What is ruling your mind? Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory, and through the grace of God alone. Amen. Amen, Chatadonia. Have a good one. A good rest of your Friday, Junior. You have all day. You got the rest of the day. Unless you want East Coast. You guys get a sunset soon. But come on, man. Beginning of the year. Beginning of the year. Bye. Jesus. Praise God. Amen, amen. It's a call, baby. Hey. Yeah. If we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there. I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared. Big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear. Oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting. Nah. It's done. Daddy said it's finished. Made me in his image, but that always made me timid. Wonder why we different, don't you ever get it twisted. It's the only way we get it, set apart from the start. And the heart isn't ours. It's a hippie with the love, but it's David with the sword. I want peace, so that means you gon' kill me if it's war. Nietzsche, Trotsky, can't beach on the ark. Want it easy or hard, want a genie or a god. Then believe me, lil' bro, you a child, you a son of the highest in the bud. Don't deny it, we don't like it when they tell us who we are. I can tell you who I was, I can tell you who he is. I can make another song that's telling y'all about the crib. But for a second, keep it real, it's not the reason they will kill. It's the freedom in believing, they want death to bring the will. But I'd rather have it now, and I ain't never backing down. Lion gonna eat me or turn his ass around. Either way, I will remain up in his name and say it proud. Here, let's say it now. Jesus. I put Jesus on the beat so I can listen to it. I got reason to believe that we living in it. You could say it's one hell of a decision in it. Ay, if we talking plays, yeah, I'm in there like swimwear. I've been there, I've done this shit for 10 years. You could have it all, but you been scared, big scare. Funny part, there wasn't even risk there. My thoughts been my own, yeah, I've been clear. No fear, oh dear, who you try to control here? My God is the weapon, I ain't boasting.